Hey, this is the Disco Inferno, Glenn Gilberti, former WCW TV champion and cruiserweight champion and professional VIP wrestling podcast guest, and you're listening to In Your Head.
Boom! We are live here. Welcome to In Your Head Wrestling Radio. I am the internet icon, the pride of the pilgrims, the most honest man in all of podcasting, the damn handsome man to boot, Jackie Jones, along with my right-hand man, my audio soulmate, and the enforcer of the Headyverse.
1 inch biceps, the power goat. Bah! Ha! Been to the dentist today, Jack?
Really?
I have had...
Up on goof pills?
No, they didn't give me anything. They just drilled my tooth out, gave me a new filling. Then they grinded it all down, and then they put a temporary cap on top of it. And then they said, give us $341. And I said, bam, there you go. And they say, come back in a few weeks and get your new cap on there, and then you'll be all set.
Hell yeah. So is it you feeling good?
Yeah, it hurts a little.
They didn't give you Novocaine or anything?
They did, but like I was being a tough guy, I guess, because they started like
tough guy.
Tough guy.
Boom, you can see the shirt.
So I said no, I'm good, because I didn't want them to shoot me with some more, because it's like, it'd take longer to wear off. So
you're just like, I'm just gonna live in pain and misery.
Just let me live in some pain.
Mm-hmm.
No,
it'll get you started to be talking to me for a couple hours.
It's very possible, yeah.
All right. It's very painful and miserable, I hear.
But it was my bottom tooth that I'm definitely wanting.
You only have one bottom tooth?
No, I have several.
Oh, okay.
Like the very back one that's supposed to be there, it is gone.
The wisdom tooth?
No, that one was removed. But the one
I pulled
after
my own out once.
Yeah. It had a root canal and it went bad.
Yeah.
So it cracked in half. Maybe I was too rough on it. Who knows?
No, that's happened to me with root canals. You pay like $1,400 and then they break.
Mm-hmm. Crack right in half. I guess because I got to drill so deep to get into the root and kill it and all that.
Yeah, that's why they put the cap on it. Put a cap on that ass.
Well, this one's not a root canal, though. This was just a cap.
Yeah, well, they're supposed to put the caps on the root canal, but I don't always do that because then, like you said, it's another several $100.
Maybe that's why mine broke, because I didn't have a cap.
Yeah, I didn't either on one of mine.
Yeah, I don't think I had a cap. Because I remember it just cracking, and it was just like you could feel like a big sharp shard of a tooth there.
Right.
So it wasn't very pleasant.
No, it's not good when your teeth break.
Jack, my question though, while I was sitting in the dentist chair and I was having all my work done, and the dentist was moving around and doing this and that, and I thought, how in the world could Dr. Brick Baker go into work and do her job with a busted leg? There's no way she's going into the office.
Very true. She's a trooper, I think, is the answer. It's like, she's a role model for everyone out there.
But do you think she can do her dental practice with a busted leg? I don't think she could.
With a busted freaking leg is what she should say.
Mm-hmm. A very large woman fell into it. She fell off of the rope, broke. Was it a broke or is it like Achilles tendon or something like that, or is it the knee?
ACL, I believe.
ACL. Oh, okay. Yeah. So you can't because these girls are up and moving and just going crazy and drilling on my teeth and then having me bite down on stuff. It's like you can't do that if you're hobbling around. You can't be like, let me get the stuff. It probably set up before they actually got it in your mouth.
She's probably a lot better than the normal dentist. She's very tough and strong and powerful. And
she's
just
not
like
going
you
into
yourself. You were like, don't give me a Novocaine because I'm a fucking man. You're like, I'm the power goat. At the dentist, she's like, I can still perform my dentistry even with a busted freaking leg. That's what I think, because she's a role model for the world.
Even with a bum wheel. Do you think Rebel brings her in, like rolls her into her patients and everything?
I think so. Who do you think's the better dentist, Britt Baker or Dr. Isaac Yankem?
Well, Dr. Isaac Yankem's probably a cheaper dentist because he just likes to yank them.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
When I was just a bad little kid, my mama noticed funny things I did. Like shooting puppies with a BB gun. I'd poison guppies, and then when I was done, I'd find a pussy cat and bash in its head. Oh, that's when my mama said, what did she say? She said, son, I think someday you'll find a way to make your natural tendencies pay. You'll be a dentist.
Very good. I thought you were singing like Isaac Yankem's tune, and I was like, I didn't even know Isaac Yankem had a tune.
Drill. I think he just had drill noises, like
really?
Yeah.
Well, that's not that creative. I mean,
no, they had some really bad. I remember that in like Erwin R. Shyster was just like typewriter, like
really a typewriter.
And Teal Hopper, I believe, was just like a toilet flushing.
That's probably just like a compilations of noises that Vince finds annoying.
Or he probably likes the toilet.
Like, I don't like a dentist drill, buddy. Make that your theme song.
Surprised he never had like a sneezing heel.
Mm-hmm.
It was just like a heel who sneezed on people.
That just comes out and sneezes. He's gonna be sneeze.
Yeah, sneezy. He's
It worked well with nowadays. He can be like, oh, look at the droplets, pal.
Right,
droplets all over.
Yeah, that's a topical heel that might not be offensive. Is just a guy who breathes on people, doesn't wear a mask. Well, they don't wear masks anyway, I guess, in wrestling.
Goes to the stores and be like, why do I need a mask? It's like, come here, store owner. He pie faces them, It's like, I don't need the mask.
On my walk today, I stopped at a convenience store to get a scratch ticket. And there were firefighters in front of me. And you think of all people, the firefighters would also be used to wearing masks and would like obey, this rule.
Yeah.
And they were not wearing masks.
Oh, man. Well, God bless the firefighters, but they probably should be wearing a mask. You're right.
Yeah, is it really difficult when you walk into it's not a 7-Eleven, for the story, but say walk into a 7-Eleven to buy like a pack of cigarettes? Well, can you not put on the mask for 20?
Governor Jim Justice, he slapped down the quaditas on everybody, and he's like, you go in a store, you best follow the fucking guidelines.
That's the rule here too, but not everyone follows it anyway. I don't understand.
But he's saying you got to wear a mask now. It's mandated, but he says they're not going to drag you off to jail or even fine you if you don't. So.
Yeah, but I don't understand the people that are so just against it. Like, you're taking away my freedoms. This is tyranny, and they'll compare it to like the Holocaust.
It's like. Dude, they're not telling you always have to wear a mask, right, just when you go in a store.
Yeah.
Or public places.
Right. I have mine. When I'm walking, I have it around my neck. I have one I can pull up. And, if I go into an area where there's people, I just pull it up. If I go in a store, I pull it up. It's not difficult. It's not like.
It's quite easy, really.
Yeah.
Like, I got a shoestring like around a cloth mask that I use for work primarily nowadays. And I can just pull it down, pull it up whenever I want. And it's not hard to mess with. I keep my hand sanitizer
I do too.
In my pocket.
Yeah, I don't have it.
I take it out
now because it's just me down here. But I always do when I'm out walking. It's just real simple stuff that's not difficult. I think people are, which is why I think U.S. is like, I know it's a political show, but it shouldn't even be a political thing in the first place. I don't know why it's politicized. It should just be, I want to help out my fellow man, and I don't want everyone to get sick. I don't know why it's got to be like, oh, you're a liberal. You wear a mask. I'm for the rights of not wearing masks. It's like, it's crazy. And then I think there are people who don't realize it's worldwide either, because they seem to think it's just the United States, and it's something to bring.
It's like how are you going to get other countries to go along with this?
Well, the other countries are doing it. Now other countries are blocking travel to America.
And who could blame them?
Now Mexico wants to build the wall to keep us out.
Who could blame them? I mean, really, we're riddled with this virus, and we're not taking the steps to take care of it.
Yeah,
so
there's people.
I don't blame them.
I don't either. But like, we don't want these assholes coming in.
I can't. Yeah. So good on you, England. Keep us out. We need to stay out.
Even Mexico. But it's like maybe this was his plan all along. It's like, I'll finally get Mexico to build the wall, to pay for the wall.
Maybe. So that's a hell of a conspiracy theory you got going there. Look at Jack.
I'm joking, but nowadays people will believe anything. If you put it on Reddit or a meme, people will believe this.
That's the next conspiracy horseman, probably, with Stevie Richards and the guy that nobody knows, and Vince Russo. Who's that other guy? Why is he even there? Oh. I don't know him. I've never seen him in my life, but he's this expert, so whatever. And he's a conspiracy horseman. We need to make a horseman for something, because everybody uses a horseman.
Well, I guess the horseman would be me, you, Juju, me, and Clinton.
The podcast horseman.
The heady horseman.
Yeah, horsemen, women.
Are we women?
Horsemen and woman.
Well, when it's used that way, it's
it applies to everybody.
Kind, yeah.
Oh, it's like, yeah. Like I know if like in Spanish, if you say nosotros, if there's only one male in the group, you can use nosotros. But if there's no males, you say nosotras.
English is the rules of the English language are very loose and strange, and they're disregarded throughout. There's not like a really strict guideline on a lot of the rules, and it's kind of
probably a lot of languages.
It really is.
Like
they say like one of the harder languages to learn if you're, we grew up.
I would say, most definitely.
Yeah. So I mean, I think we've already covered most of the wrestling this week. Now,
you talked about Brett Baker's leg. Mm-hmm. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
We talked about the COVID.
Uh-huh.
We talked about the conspiracy horseman.
Yeah, I didn't even know. I've heard that name before, but I actually wasn't even sure what it was.
I think it's Stevie Richards, Vince Russo, and the other guy that I don't know his name. And they discuss conspiracies and say whether it's plausible or not.
People who really take that stuff seriously has ruined conspiracy theories for me, because I used to find them fun, and it would be funny to listen
now
to
you're just
craziness.
Annoyed.
But now there's like people, not even just like a few like backwoods hillbillies. I can't even use that term anymore, because it's like there's like mainstream people who believe the most, ridiculous things. It's like anything that's on real mainstream media news. I'm not saying they don't, some of that stuff isn't exaggerated stuff, but anything on just if it's on any type of actual news, they say it's junk. They can't believe it. But then they will believe the most ridiculous thing you could think of just because, some crazy guy on YouTube says it or someone put it on a meme.
Yeah.
I used to joke that people are going to get all their news from memes, but it's become reality. I even saw someone who's trying to argue with me that memes is a better way to get your news. Believable, and I was just like, I can't believe this is an actual conversation with someone who can even turn on a computer.
I do a little bit of that when it comes to wrestling news. I will see
well, I mean, that's
a title,
an important thing in your life.
Well, yeah, but I'll see like a title of a YouTube video, and then I'm there it is. I'll talk about it on the show. I won't even watch this video, but I'll talk about it on the show.
Right. I mean, that's a clickbait. So, I get
Normally it's highly inaccurate.
Right. But I mean, a meme, like someone will just take a picture. It could be like a 12-year-old kid on Reddit and just write some nonsense and throw it out there, and people are like, well, it's clearly, this is clearly facts now.
I think people just don't realize that like anybody can make a professional looking. Yeah, I think people don't realize that anybody can make a professional looking picture nowadays, or
they just grab one off Google web search and just throw a quote up on it.
Yeah,
And they're like, this is, this is clearly, reality.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I have news for people out there. I've seen Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory many times. And most of these quotes that are on memes with Willy Wonka are not from Willy Wonka.
That's true. Yeah, you'll find a hard time finding a lot of those quotes in the movie.
Yeah, I do.
I don't think they are.
If someone today had never seen the movie, and you're a young person, you grew up in the world of memes, and you watch it for the first time, what would you think? Would you be like, "What the fuck? He's not even saying any of this stuff I've read on my Twitter."
I never realized he was so wordy when he went in to the big reveal of the candy room for the first time.
Right? Yeah.
It's like he just keeps going on and on and on. But I didn't. They must have cut that out of my version.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone should make a version where they just collect all the memes and just add all these quotes. I would do that, but the idea is funny, but I don't want to actually do the work.
I never recalled like the Joker in The Dark Knight talking about how like everybody loses their mind if somebody doesn't do their job well, who's like the good employee. Where was that bit in the movie? I didn't see that.
The rise of the memes.
Yeah,
it's a weird world we live. We've seen a lot on the internet here, Insure. We've ridden the waves of the internet. We're one of the first people to do podcasts. And now we're doing video, but it's really been a strange ride. I remember the early days when I first got on the internet, and it was just cool to be able to hear people talk. Like you could hear like stuff that normally would just be on the radio.
Yeah. And
now it's just like people get their news.
It's old hat.
So weird.
It's like Jimmy Fallon's copying us nowadays. He's like.
Yeah, it's
like I'll just do a Zoom conversation for the Tonight Show.
Actual television shows with multi-million dollars behind them have the same quality or worse than or probably about the same quality as this, and worse than some things I see on YouTube.
Yeah, that is a strange feeling.
Perfect, they'd have to be a little better quality because I don't watch the Tonight Show, but I've seen like clips, and I look, I'm like, wow, it's really shoddy quality.
Like, could they not just set up a thing where it's just like the cameraman in like a hazmat suit and Jimmy Fallon or something, like a studio?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, if you don't want to be in contact with anybody, just have and then have Steve Higgins in another room or something. And
you think they could send the guy like a professional camera, and he can't be that innate just to.
Yeah, you think they would
hit
do
this
something.
button when the show starts, and they go.
Yeah,
probably could even set up where it just works remotely, where someone could be manning it from outside in a bus or something.
I mean, they did it in Halloween Resurrection. I mean, they can do it for Jimmy Fallon.
That movie sucks. So clearly,
I know it's
better technology now.
Buster Rhymes, he got his comeuppance though in the end.
That's one movie that hasn't gained an audience. Like. So many movies I remember when I was a kid, like either I was the only one who liked it, like Halloween 3, or like movies that no one liked. I didn't like either. And then like years go by and people are like, oh, that's this classic. And I'm like, no, it fucking sucked. Or no one liked it when I was a kid. But that's one that I've not seen anyway. I don't see an audience. There's not like a group demanding. I've actually seen people. There's an audience now for Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. Which is surprising to me because that was universally pretty much hated at the time. But now it's really, I can't say the majority, but I have seen a growing fan base for Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, which is very perplexing.
Going back to Halloween Resurrection, when it first came out, I did have big hopes for it because it's directed by Rick Rosenthal, the director of the second one.
Big Buster Rhymes.
No, not Buster Rhymes, but. He was quite the character in that film, but and I was hoping because there's rumors on the internet about John Carpenter reshooting all the scenes in part 2 and kind of like making it more of a cheesier type of movie. I've heard those claims before. A lot of the kills are kind of cheesy in Halloween 2, and like the rest of the movie's fairly good. So, and then I was like, I had big hopes for Halloween Resurrection thinking, well, this would be his big comeback, like, hey, I'm right. I can make a good Halloween movie. And no, it wasn't.
It's up there with the worst. That, for me, it's the worst. That and Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. Probably the two worst.
The worst Halloween.
And honestly,
yeah.
I think the latest one is right under those two.
I'd say 5 is the worst. I hate 5.
I can't. I remember having a fondness for those ones that went right to video because they had this weird storyline that's never like it's just abandoned when they do
it's totally
H2O,
abandoned now.
But you never find out like the payoff, like who's the guy in the. But I remember
5 was the one with Jamie.
Watch him for quite a long time.
Yeah, 5 was the one with Jamie Lloyd, and like she had the telekinesis and stuff, and it was corny. It was bad.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
Even Donald Pleasance, because he normally saves those movies, but like they had him with like this big prosthetic on his face.
Yeah.
Like I'll say his performance was good, even though he was given some of the worst stuff possible.
How many? Of
he
those
had like
movies
this
does he
huge
die
thing
in
on his
and
face.
just comes back.
Huh?
Doesn't he die in several of those movies and just keeps coming back anyway?
Well, so is Michael Myers.
Yeah, but
he had fire coming out of his eye sockets in part 2. So.
Right. But
And they're just like, he's got a few burns.
But I mean, he's like the boogeyman, and so. But the other guy's just an old, psychiatrist. Why is he like immortal?
I remember my old art teacher. He was like the ceramics teacher when I had ceramics in high school. Like he sat down and like started having this real long, in-depth like horror movie discussion, and that was his argument about Halloween 2. He's like, man, he like had fires coming out of his eye sockets at the end of that movie, and I remember thinking, well, you're not right. Michael Myers can come back. And then later on, I'm like, he was totally right. He does have like fire just like shooting out of his eyes while he's like laid over in the floor.
Someone had told me that they think that's the reason why in the newest one that, it's a direct sequel to the first one and not a direct sequel to the second one where how H2O is. It's because they just wanted to steal the same ending from part 2 where he just burns up. And I was like, you know what? There is something there. Because otherwise, I mean, why bypass that one? It doesn't really make a lot of sense.
Yeah, you could have kept that. Well, besides the whole fire coming out of his eye sockets at the end thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. That whole thing with the lockdown room basement where they're going to.
Yeah, I really didn't like anything about the movie. But yeah, that's.
I didn't hate the new theme, like the one that Carpenter's son worked on.
Right. But I mean, just
that one wasn't bad. So maybe, do you think he did the whole song, or do you think John Carpenter kind of came in and said, "Oh, do this, buddy"?
I think John Carpenter worked on the theme.
Did he work on it with him?
I think so. I'm not positive, but I think he did. I think that was the rumor.
Okay.
I know the newest one has been postponed because of COVID.
Can't see Russell Crowe freaking out in a semi. That's been delayed.
What?
So. The new Russell Crowe movie where he's
Russell Crowe. Okay.
Yeah,
I thought you said Wrestle Crowe, and I was like, "What the fuck is Wrestle Crowe? Is this a wrestler? Is this a new promotion?"
That could be a new one. Yeah.
All the kids love Wrestle Crowe. I was like, "What?"
Well, didn't Sammy Callahan go about like a Solomon Crowe or something like that?
He did. Yes. Yeah. That's true.
So
Wrestle Crowe.
He could just go by Wrestle Crowe now.
Uh-huh.
That would be a pretty generic name if a wrestler just decided to replace his first name when he leaves the company just to wrestle.
Yeah.
Wrestle McCallahan or something. Or...
That'd be a good faction. Is this a bunch of guys named Wrestle?
Yeah. I'm sure it exists somewhere.
Yeah, the Horsemen. I saw this is wrestling news. And so far, I actually haven't seen anyone in favor of it, which is good because usually people are of this stuff, and it just makes me mad. But the WWE, they put in their copyright for Cody Rhodes again, which had run out, and it's like there's no reason to do that other than just to be an asshole at this point.
It's just like we must own Cody Rhodes' name.
What is their benefit to this other than just be an asshole to Cody in AEW? I've always thought it disgusting, really. I don't like that anyway for anybody, but especially Cody. He's the actual son of Dusty Rhodes, and Dusty Rhodes is the one who made that name famous. I know his real last name's Runnels, but WWE didn't create Dusty Rhodes. And I know people can argue, well, they created Cody Rhodes, but they did. I mean, that's just his last name because his real life father is Rhodes.
Yeah. And I love that his wife is named Brandy Rhodes, but you can't call Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, I mean, they should they should be ashamed of themselves. There's no benefit to that. You're just being vindictive and being petty.
This is a company that tells you are not a fan if you wish to protect yourself with a mask.
Right, and then the fans actually had COVID, and now it's running through the company.
Now it's running rampant. And did you like the bit that Taz did when he was cutting his promo on John Moxley, and he brought up how they don't run a sloppy shop?
Yeah,
basically alluding to Renee Young having the COVID, and basically saying WWE's at fault for it.
Yeah, I'm a little. I don't know how I feel about Taz as a manager.
Mm-hmm.
I think unfortunately a lot of it is because he's been such a goofball these last 15 years. It's hard for me to go back and remember him as the cool Taz.
I'm channeling cool Taz, bro.
But he still has that goofiness to him. I don't know. And I don't think I want to be a fan. I do too, because I really like Cage, and I don't think he's a great promo by himself. Mm-hmm. And I am glad that AEW has brought back managers, because I'm a fan of managers, and I also think it's a great use for retired wrestlers who can't perform anymore, but can still add so much to the product, through promos and just name value. When you put someone with Jake the Snake and Arn Anderson, Tully Blanchard, it immediately establishes them as someone that should be important, and then they can still give to the business and give entertainment to fans like us.
Yeah, I'm a fan of it. I don't hate Taz on the promo, but it does make you think back to him doing the whole yam bags and all that, and just thinking this is a guy who was a total goof. Yeah, but I'm giving him a chance. I'm letting him do it. He might come out with some greatness.
Yeah. Jason says I'm dark tonight, and Incher's all shiny, so it's the devil and the angel. It's weird because earlier I did a show, and it was too bright, so I fiddled with stuff, and it was perfect. But now it is darker again. I don't understand. I have opinions, but I think it looks.
Could it
fine.
be like a sunlight, maybe? Like the sunlight was helping
in the
you?
basement.
Is there a window with that sunlight come through? No. The windows.
Can do something if you want to give me a second.
If I was locked in your basement, could I scream as loud as I wanted and nobody would ever hear me? Oh my God!
All right, I'll be right back. I'm gonna move some lights.
He's got to go do something.
So just talk amongst yourselves.
All righty. I'll think of something to talk about. AEW, they got the Fighter Fest going on. And it was the first night was a good night, but on WWE side, you got NXT doing their show. I believe it's the Great American Bash that they got going on, and apparently NXT is beating AEW in the ratings. That's just mind-boggling to me that AEW has been trumped by NXT, and I've watched both shows, and I'm trying to remember the best that I can what happened on NXT and AEW. But I remember NXT being a good show. I know you had Roderick Strong taking on Samuel Loomis, or it's not Samuel Loomis, it's Loomis something. Loomis, the guy who used to be Dexter in TNA. He came out and he was doing a thing, but I thought they had a pretty decent match on that NXT. Did you see the NXT?
No, I never watched NXT.
Okay, well, I thought it was a decent show because they're doing the Great American Bash right now, and they had night one, and it was a pretty enjoyable show to watch. And I thought the Fighter Fest. I brought up how they lost in the ratings to NXT. So
I really dug Fighter Fest.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was a great show. And I'm really looking forward to part two. But, they're really putting on I know they're putting on a lot of counter-programming on WWE right now. It's unfortunate because I prefer AEW, but as long as the show's still doing relatively well, I'm happy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, Fighter Fest I thought was great.
Yeah. You had a lot of good stuff on Fighter Fest. I think probably the most funny moment that I've seen in wrestling in a long time was Trent Beretta's mom bringing him to the ring
I thought that was funny. I like that. They've really, I was not real big on the team, and then when they added Orange Cassidy, they really moved up in my book. And I think they've actually become one of my favorite acts in the
yeah.
Not maybe my favorite, but I really enjoy the act in AEW.
Yeah.
And I do think, because since AEW has a lot of younger people, and not necessarily younger, I mean, some of them are younger, but some people that aren't used to being television performers, I think some of them, it took a little while for them to come across well on TV, and also, learn to perform on television.
Yeah. Dexter Loomis, that was the name I was thinking of earlier. I'm sorry.
They also don't have the benefit of working at NXT before they go to the main.
But Trent Beretta, his mom's minivan pulls up, and they get out, and they're trying to mean mug the camera, and then you hear his mom say, "Come on back, sweetie. Come on, have a good time." It was just like, oh, that's the funniest thing ever. She gives him a kiss on the cheek.
Yeah. So is this better now?
It's good. You're lighter, I guess. Yeah. What'd you do?
I thought it was
Kurt?
fine before. I don't know.
Do you got a circle light where you can see like your pupils with all the circles in your eyes?
No, I bought it's like a shop light that hangs overhead.
I hate the circle light because it makes people look like they're a freaky alien or something. They got like circles in their eyes, and they're like,
I do have this.
What's that? It's like a big LED light. That's probably too bright, I would say, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like
it's not bad. It helps.
Does that make me look nicer?
I mean, is my lighting all right?
Yeah, it's fine.
Really? It's just a closet light. It's just like I can flip the switch on and off.
Right. Yeah, I have a hard time finding working lights that look good.
Really?
I don't know. Don't worry about
it. I do kind of look like a little festerish. Put a light bulb in my mouth.
I got a light bulb for you. But it's working this lamp right now. So
yeah, that's what I thought.
I want to look nice for my man Mitten out there. You
got to look nice for Mitten.
Yeah.
But yeah, their match between Kenny Omega and Hangman Page, that was a pretty fun bout with the best friends taking them on.
Yeah, I thought it was really good stuff. The only thing I have to admit, I've tried to become a fan of Kenny Omega, but I don't really care for him. I think he's a very good wrestler. Don't get me wrong; he has good matches, and I like the tag team. But I think as a character, I can't stand the guy. I don't want to hear him in promos.
They're trying to do this thing where he is, not going to be the champion, but I think that's a huge mistake. I think they do need to make the guy champion. I think he needs to. Or at least be in the picture.
I don't tag champ, and then they actually can main event with the tag belts.
I mean, because he has his aura about him, where we've heard so much about him from New Japan, and it's like, well, showcase that now. Don't just squander it. Bring him to the States and try to make him into a huge star. Because AEW, they need big stars.
That's how the company came to be. Was the Elite guys took off with an audience.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't for that, there wouldn't have been a company, because that was the catalyst. Especially the Young Bucks, Cody and the guy we're just talking about,
Kenny Omega.
And then, to a lesser degree, some of the other guys, Adam Page and stuff. But those were really the core guys. And if it wasn't for those guys being so over in Japan and Ring of Honor and the indie scene, I don't think there would have even been an AEW. And then when the addition of Chris Jericho, really put it over the top. But and they've showcased Jericho very well, and Dean Ambrose, but and Cody, I think to a degree, but not so much the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega. I don't think.
Yeah, I think they could utilize him a lot better. I mean, Kenny Omega, to me, I would have made him like your first like big breakout star. I mean, I know they're trying to do that for Hangman Page, which is good because I mean he's very charismatic. Guy
like I was talking about earlier. I think it took him a little while to really catch on. I mean, not with the crowd, but I think he himself took a little while to find what his character should be on television, because they tried to push him right away, and I actually didn't think it worked, and I didn't think he belonged there. But since then, I think he's really come along a lot as a character, and he's just much more entertaining now. And I think it's just a lot of it is these guys weren't used to being television, performers.
Yeah, I also think they need to reunite that feud between MJF and Cody. I think they need to have like MJF challenge for the belt. And I think they should lead into something where he brings in the stipulation you can get the belt, a challenge for the main title if you beat me in this match or something like that.
Right.
I think they should bring that back into the mix because I don't think Cody should be totally out of the main title scene. But.
I think they will eventually, and I actually like what they're doing right now with Cody because it's elevating that belt.
Mm-hmm.
And I also think that they're doing a good job at because I saw some people were saying they didn't like on this particular show. They said he kind of acted like a heel because he kind of used not cheating but desperation, I would call it, to keep the title. And I actually think that it's long-term storytelling with his character where he has to defend the belt every week. And it's not just telling the story within one match, but it's telling the story within multiple weeks, multiple matches, because every week he has to do more and more to keep his title, which shows that he's defending it all the time, but it's also taking something away from him. Like the previous week, he did like a tope. I know some people are like, oh, it was bad. Jim Ross was like, oh man, he doesn't need to do that. But I actually think it was intentional because that added to the match, and it also adds to the long-term story that Cody is breaking down by defending the belt so much, and he's becoming more and more susceptible, which makes sense. And so he has to do more and more each match to retain the title. And then this week he had to resort to a little more desperation to keep the title. And I just think it's progressive storytelling, which is actually very smart.
Oh, yeah.
It's so much stuff in WWE. I don't always compare it to WWE, but we've seen it for years where someone will get like attacked and beat down one week, and then the next show they're just totally fine because it's almost like a reset from show to show as opposed, to a progression. There's not an overlying story arc a lot of times.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Most definitely.
I disagree because Vince Arudo here says Cody's turning heel, which is a terrible idea. I think it would be a terrible idea, but I don't think he is. I don't think that's
No, they need to keep him face. I think he works well as a face right now. I mean, don't change him until he starts getting a little stale.
Because I've seen him as a heel and he's a great heel. But I think now, I think he's the best baby face in wrestling.
Mm-hmm. Although I will say they shouldn't bring up that the belt is unfinished.
Shouldn't it be finished by now anyway?
How long does it take to get the plating?
Debuted it till it was finished.
Mm-hmm. Well, I guess they kind of felt like they had to do something with the whole no fans in the crowd.
Yeah, but it's been months. It's been like over a month now. What the fuck's this belt asshole doing? Fucking get on board, bitch.
FTR, they got their rod stolen, so I'm kind of happy that Blade and the Butcher took off with the rod, and they got the Lucha Brothers.
Really helping Blade and the Butcher because I actually like the team anyway, but I think this is elevating them, which is it should be the idea when you bring in like someone like FTR is to elevate the other teams.
Yeah,
and I think they've always work-wise worked for me, and I like their look and everything. But now you're seeing a little more of their personality and seeing them in competitive matches with an established team, and I think it's really helping them out. It's also a good team for FTR to work with right away.
Do you think they made a mistake though by not making the Young Bucks thing kind of red hot from the get-go?
I think it kind of is there, but
I would think
I think you want to build to that because if you start off with that, then where do you go from there?
But they had a lot of stuff just on the internet, but not everybody watches that. So, because I don't necessarily watch Being the Elite.
Right, I don't either. I know.
I've seen a few episodes.
I do think they do that in general. Just assume everyone knows this stuff, and they do.
Yeah, most definitely.
Let's see here.
Do you want to go to our CBS Sports anchor?
The mighty one, mighty Lexar. Going on, my friend, my pal, my amigo.
Hang on, time out. I can't hear you with my air conditioner on, so.
Well, what kind of anchors they got there, the CBS Sports? They got their air conditioner on? And it's like,
it's a lot
you've
of
been talking for a while now, and you've just been sitting there listening to air condition. You got Jack and Insure, the number one podcast that ever existed, and you're listening to air conditioner.
Fucking bitch. So I'm going to do this. This is going to be a new tradition on the show for Insure. I'm going to start taking a selfie every show.
Okay, take your selfie. There you go. What about the claw hand? Do the claw hand. There you go. There you go.
Jackie Jones, a selfie icon.
I'm always kind of the thumbs up one, though. I do the thumbs up a lot. I know the thumbs up's probably a lot of people's
I can't do that. We'll get kicked off.
You can't do that. You can't do that anymore. I did that describing a cord on one of my videos, and somebody screen capped it and put it. Like I was saying, like the cord for this controller is kind of thick, and I wasn't like.
It's really about the thickness, not the length.
Exactly.
Oh, a cord. Yeah.
You like a good thick cord, right, Lexar, with your game controllers?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I like a thick cord with my PlayStation 2.
The PlayStation does have, with the first PlayStation and the PlayStation 2, they did have thick cords. You don't get that. It's cordless nowadays. All these kids are about no cords. They're cutting the cord. I'm like a baby. I want to be tethered to my game console. I guess. Well, not really. I do use the cordless controllers nowadays. So on the newer consoles, if it's an option. If it's an option, CBS Sports. So Lexar's doing his thing.
I just want to know. I'm not texting on my phone. I'm actually posting that people can zoom in. Because I would try to promote the show while we're doing the show live, but now that we're on video,
yeah, people can see exactly what you're doing. That's just the flaw in our scheme here. But I want to know, Lexar. I want to know. Don't be BSing me here. What all wrestling did you watch this week? Are you an Iron Man like the legendary Jimmy Jam, who used to do the show with us all the time?
Yeah, so the only shows I cannot watch is Impact and Female Lucha, New Japan, because I don't have the app.
I don't have that either. Yeah.
Let's see, what else? Lucha Underground.
They don't exist no more. They're dead.
Really?
Yeah. Finished.
Just like Evolve and Chikara.
Yeah, I heard that Chikara was
from Evolve WWE bot.
Yeah.
What are they going to do?
They own that bitch.
Nothing against them, but is that going to be, because they say no one watches old stuff on the network.
If you were Gabe Sapolsky and WWE was like, we want to buy Evolve, how quick would you sell that thing? You'd be like, give me the money, please take my money. Give Gabe the money, because what are they going to do with that, Evolve? They had one show with the big guy who was always talking about life hitting him harder than Austin Theory could ever do. I was like, is this where I'm trying to find my inspirational characters from? Is Evolve Wrestling? He was just like, he just stopped in the middle of the match.
Were the Young Bucks, were they in Evolve a lot? Because I saw, I didn't actually watch them, guilty like this of you. I just saw a thumbnail. Jim Cornette was talking about Evolve, and it showed the Young Bucks. So I guess they have footage of the Young Bucks now from Evolve. I don't know much about Evolve, so
I don't know. If they were there, I don't think it was very long. But I never really watched Evolve either. I know Darby Allin wrestled for him a lot. Like he was in, and Drew McIntyre when he was done with WWE he wrestled for him some. But outside of that, I don't really know. I know, they're Generation Me and Impact, which isn't exactly what you're asking, but I'm just trying to show everyone out there my wrestling knowledge. Bald head means big brain.
Egghead.
I'm the professor.
Professor Insure.
So, XR, what did you watch Raw? Did you watch SmackDown?
Oh, yeah. I watched Raw. I watched SmackDown. Raw, they had a brand new United States Championship belt design. That marks the end of the original, like, Ruthless Aggression Championships.
This
Really,
was this
what's
week.
it looking like?
Because the old US title design came out in the Ruthless Aggression era.
Mm.
Yeah, but then they've changed that belt because it used to be the spinner belt.
Boo, boo, doo, boo. Boo, boo, doo, boo.
It
You
used to be a
changed it
spinner belt.
before, Lexar. It used to be a spinner belt. It's not still.
Yes. Then they switched it to a much better United States title. And then now it's a brand new belt. Brand new Star Spangled Stripes United States Championship.
I love how Steven comes into the thing like he's about to steal something. He's got the shifty eyes looking around like, do they see me? Do they not? Like, I'm going to take your cookies, Incher. I'm like, no, I love my cookies.
What's your favorite kind of cookie?
Pringles. He's got Pringles, Jack.
Pringles? That's not a cookie. That's potato chips.
Well, he just grabbed what was closest to him. What kind of Pringles was that?
I have to admit, I've never been a fan of Pringles.
Oh, these are great.
Oh, salt and vinegar?
Salt and vinegar.
Salt and vinegar. What do you think about that, Alexa? Are you got any Pringles?
No, I have Ritz crackers.
Well,
Cheese and crackers.
regarding Henry, he strongly approves of Ritz crackers. So, Ritz is good. They are good.
Putting on the Ritz.
They're delicious.
There you go, young Frankenstein. Yeah.
So, Steve, what's going on, my buddy, my friend, my compadre? What's Mohawk for friend?
It's fucking hot. Pardon my language. It's hot.
That's Mohawk for friend. They're like,
yeah, I'm
hello,
confused.
fucking hot.
Oh, bonsoir, mon ami.
Bonsoir.
That's not Mohawk.
That's French. Isn't
No.
French.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, how about you won't understand this? How about Sego Skanego Wane? Now that's Mohawk.
That's why I'm asking. We want. This is an entertaining program. We want and educational. So we were trying to find out.
I understood, but tell everybody out there, Steven, so everybody else knows.
Well, it's when you meet someone, usually when I go back to the reserve, Sago is hello, and Skanego Wane is sort of like, I think it's roughly translated as how are you or how are you doing, you know.
Exactly. Yeah.
Just a general greeting that, everybody would. I've been saying that for like 50 years, so.
I would like to do something since we've got 4 people here, so it's a horseman.
Okay.
Come on, Lexar.
Boom. And then let's see. We'll do an Incher. Thumbs up, guys. And then we'll do a Jack. All right, very good. I like it. I'll save those later on.
Are you going to take selfie of those too?
Mm-hmm.
No, I'll take a screen capture later on.
Okay.
That'll be good stuff, Jack. But
yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
It's always good to see cats.
I like cats.
Yeah.
I got 2 of my own right now.
To Trista Robinson's cat.
What's its name?
The musical cats.
What's
that kitty's name, Vic?
This is Oreo.
Oreo. That's a good name. That's a good name. Meow. Can you dip her in milk? Or him, her?
Oreo. It's you don't know what could be male or female.
Mm-hmm. Could be made in Mexico or the United States.
What's its name?
The musical cats.
What's that kitty's name, Vic?
This is Oreo.
You got to turn the show off in the background, Vic Giovanni.
Can you dip her in milk?
You got to turn the show off in the background.
I sound like an idiot. Does I sound like that?
Got to dip her in the milk?
No.
What's that kitty's name?
I keep doing it. I got one joke.
He said it 15 times. Tyler here in the chat, he says that a bald head is a solar panel for a sex machine. Boom.
Boom.
That's why we haven't seen Juju around for a while.
Oh.
Worn out. No, she was banned.
Loading.
Solar panel.
Unfortunately, from the Facebook.
Oh, yeah. Jeez. Facebook with their bannings.
Because she shared a picture of Daphne that Daphne, I believe, has her on her own Facebook.
Oh, yeah?
Very strange.
Yeah. You wouldn't think that would call for a banning?
No.
Yeah. Sharing pictures. Uh-oh. Well, what's that pooch's name there, Steven?
This is Lulu.
Lulu, be good. Be good, Lulu.
Wow, Intra's kind of mean to the dog.
I was trying to do, like, you know, the scene from The Life Aquatic whenever, like, he's like, what's your dog's name? And then Goldblum walks up to him and he hits him with the paper and he's like, stay still, Cody. So I don't know. It's just one of those famous Wes Anderson moments that I just
I know
enjoy.
you're a big fan of that movie. I do like a lot of Wes Anderson movies, but not that one particularly.
I like The Life Aquatic. It's a little strange, I'll give it that, but Rushmore's great. Probably my favorite. I just watched the one with the camping one, Moonrise Kingdom or something like that. I watched that one recently. Yeah. It was all right. It wasn't my favorite. Never seen the Darjeeling Limited. Haven't seen that one.
You gotta catch up. You got time now.
Yeah. Oh, I am a big fan of the Budapest Hotel one.
Yeah, that's actually a really good movie too.
Yeah. I like when well, I don't want to ruin the joke, but
you don't want to spoil this movie. It's been around for 10 years.
Don't want to spoil it because maybe people will take our recommendation on it.
Yeah, so we'll check out that and Halloween Resurrection.
No, don't check out Halloween Resurrection.
I'm disappointed with that movie.
Don't know.
So, Steven, what's going on, my man? What's Mon ami?
Well, I actually did watch some Raw again this week.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of enjoyed the brief return of Heath Slater. Returned.
Heath Slater came back?
Slater came back, yeah.
Why was that? Is he rehired?
I don't think so. I think he was just like a one-off.
Are they just tickling his ass with a feather? Is that what they're doing here?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. They're just like, you remember when you had this job? And they're like, well, you don't have it no more. Sorry.
Well, my current number one most hated wrestler in the world, Doofus Zoot, also otherwise known as Dolph Ziggler, came out to challenge McIntyre, and he brought out Heath Slater. And so there was this like 30-second match of Heath Slater versus Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre kicked him, pinned him. It was over. And then
weren't they buddies at one time? Like,
yeah, they were part of the 3-man band.
Yeah.
Why is it Drew McIntyre should sell for him?
For about 5 seconds, and then he kicked him in the head.
Oh.
So then, as Drew is leaving the ring, Dolph Ziggler beat up Slater, and Drew came back, and they made up, and Heath Slater got a nice hug. I think he got a hug or a handshake or something from Drew. Anyway, yeah,
it's nice of him.
Susie Warax, who's watching now, she says she's still Master Neo, which I do prefer if people call me Master. It's nice. Still waiting on the new Guys and Fries photo. We'll get to that. And Mariella Perez says she always catches the show. And hello.
Guys and Fries.
Those are comments off my page. So I'm trying to keep up with both because I do notice when we do the show, there's a lot of times people will comment right on my page and then I miss it until after the show. But I'm trying to keep up with both. But it will make it easier when you're watching just to come over to the In Your Head page and join in on the watch party.
There you go.
So yeah, Heath Slater. I'm a big fan, and I don't think this guy's ever really gotten his shot. Like anything he's been given, I think he does well at. I mean, he's not like world champion material, I don't think, but he's definitely an entertaining guy, and I think they could have done a lot more with him.
Most definitely.
He's given like some really bad stuff and always delivered.
You know, when Heath Slater first came onto the scene, I can't necessarily say I was a fan.
Right.
But he won me over with his charisma.
The pride of was you not a fan because there was like jealousy because you were like, I should be the pride of West Virginia, not Heath Slater.
Jack, I am the pride of West Virginia. I mean, I'm the hillbilly heartthrob.
I did a poll who the icon of the WV was.
No, I don't like your polls. Your polls are always bad news for me. They never work out for me.
See again, you're jumping to negativity. When it was a poll, who was the icon of the WV? And it was you and
it's a negativity hopscotch here.
You won.
I did.
Mm-hmm. You beat Don Knotts.
Thank you, Don Knotts.
You beat the Necro Butcher. And you even beat Heath Slater.
Ooh, now I'm the one-man band.
See?
The one-man band.
Oh, there's polls, Jacker Jones. And bam! It was in your favor.
But let's be fair. Out of a percentage of your polls, how many do I fare as well as that?
You can't blame me. It's the voting. I think the poll is, is always presented in a fair light.
You always love riding that pole, Jack.
Yeah, you've never complained when you've.
Oh, you can't even flip it. You can't even flip it. Just go on to somebody else.
Well, we do have John Garabedian on here, the song man.
Hey, what is up? Jackie Jones and just Steven, everyone. What's up?
What's up, song man?
Always love riding that pole,
Jack. Here I am. I'm coming with my
you can't even flip it. You can't even flip it.
You got to turn the.
Just go on to somebody
mute
else.
The show, Vic. Mute the watch party.
Song man.
Yeah, what's up? Yeah, I caught a little bit of Raw. There wasn't quite anything that big interesting, but I will tell you that I was surprised how fabulous Great American Bash was after close to 10 so years being gone. So that was really a big, I believe this was the first rating they beat the Wars with, if I'm not mistaken. They did a fantastic job.
You recognize this, Steven?
What's that?
You recognize that?
Is that a
quarter?
Canadian dime?
Is it a dime? I don't know. I thought it was a quarter.
Oh, is that a quarter?
Yeah, I think it's a quarter. It looks like the dime would be smaller.
Oh, is that the Queen Elizabeth on there?
Yeah, I took your quarter.
Why is the Queen on the Canadian quarter?
Well, she is the sovereign for Canada. We're a British Commonwealth country, even though we're independent. We're no longer ruled by Britain, but we're still part of the Commonwealth. So she's still our queen.
You're so subservient.
Will you kill your queen, though?
What?
What?
Will you kill your queen?
Why would they want to kill the queen?
Well, no, the only person with a motive to do that would be Charles, and I think he's going to die before Elizabeth does.
I can see Lexar right now. He's like, I sentence you to death by Lexarine.
That would probably happen.
Totally.
That poor queen. He'd like, you better be stocked up on your bone Neva because it's Lexarine time.
So, you got a tune for us tonight? Oh, he's flipping the coin. I'm sorry.
Well, I've got a little thing for the show because it's great to be on In Your Head as always. Because what do you know? I was on doing a little trick because this past weekend I was on with Vic.
Very good.
Very good.
I missed it.
It's great to be on with Jackie Jones because he's still the man and he's still my #1 fan.
Oh, excellent. I don't know what I'm his #1 fan, and sure.
And happy Independence Day to all of you.
You got a love fest going, I can see. That's great. I love it. Heads or tails, the song, man. Heads.
I'll do heads.
You'll do. I think you won. Is the moose heads, Steven?
No, that's tails.
The moose is tails, so I won. You know what I get, song man? I get your eternal soul. That's what you put up. I seen the guy on No Country for Old Men. That's what he was doing.
You have an air gun?
No, but I have a Scroogey.
A what?
He asks for a Scroogey whenever he's trying to take the tags off of the car.
Oh, okay.
He says, "You have a Scroogey?" Did he just mess up on that? Was that like a flubbed line and they just left it in the movie? Like, what's a Scroogey?
Yeah, it should be a squeegee. I see a little light here. That's a reflection off my shirt. Excuse me. So what was the highlight of wrestling for you, Lexar, this week?
Besides the United States title.
Was there a new champion? Why did they have a new title?
I don't know. I guess to get rid of the old one because MVP has the United States Championship, but he's not the champion. Apollo Crews is the champion. So they're going to have a match at Extreme Rules to decide who's the actual United States champion. So I guess MVP might win because he has a brand new strap. He has a newer version of the United States title. And, it's going to be MVP and against Apollo Crews.
Yeah.
I love the entire...
Again, I thought he was just a manager.
Yeah, he is. Even though I read that he might be a producer.
I'm happy about that because I'm a big MVP fan.
Yeah, he's good.
I think it was really just going to be a one-off appearance, and I think he won people over, and now he's on the show.
They're like, "Hey, why do we ever let go of this guy? He's actually good." And it's like,
much better talking than pretty much the whole roster.
Yeah, it's like, oh, he has charisma. Why do we fire him? Oh, we're dumbasses. Right. And so it's good that he finally got his comeuppance, and they brought him back, and they're actually going to use him. So I'm happy about it.
Yeah.
But MVP is good. He's making Lashley better, I think, for sure. They got Lana. She's like going around trying to find like new buddies, and like I guess her new buddy is like Natalia. So she's buddies with Natalia now, I guess. Is it Natalia, Lexar? Am I right on that?
I think so.
Yeah.
I saw a picture of this on the Facebook.
Okay. Yeah.
But man, so they spent all that time putting her with Lashley, and then they just break him up.
They just wanted Rusev gone is all they wanted. They just wanted to devalue Rusev so he would go to Twitch and just start doing his video games, and he'll probably...
Are you jealous of that? Do you think he's trying to muscle?
I am a little jealous of it. I mean, because the guy, he goes and he makes his own Twitch channel's followers out the ass. They're just totally out the ass. And me, I have to beg, scream, cry. I think I have 10 followers.
Yep, that's the problem here. All these celebrities getting in on the podcast and video, and they bring their followers from the
from the WWE. They're like,
so that's what you got to do.
Fair.
You got to become a WWE wrestler.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Get over, have a 5-6 year run, then your Twitch numbers will go up.
You really don't even have to be like somebody that big on the roster. You can be just anybody. I mean, like
Ryder,
yeah, like Zack Ryder or anybody. You'll get like James Ellsworth. He's got all kinds of followers. He could probably get on the Twitch and he could be playing freaking Pong, and people be like, "Oh yeah, best thing! James Ellsworth is playing Pong on the Twitch." And James Ellsworth would be sitting there with his little paddle. And everybody would be like, best thing ever. Just because the asshole was on WWE television, and that's not right.
Yeah, I think King Mo, not King Mo, but Prince Mo. Mo from Men on a Mission. I think he's he's really big on the tout.
He's on the tout. He's touting it out.
Oh, by the way, I think I mentioned this the other week. I'm not positive, but DJ Rand got in touch with me for first time in a while. He's back on the social media, and he's wanting to come back on the show. So
that'd be great. I'd love to hear from DJ Rand.
The video here was DJ Rand.
The DJ of World Championship Wrestling in 1999.
Right.
Am I correct?
Yep. Former guest on the show. Really fun interview. Remember? Were you around then, Lexar? Or was that before your days?
I think I was before. Yeah.
No, you were here, Lexar.
Are you going to zoom into the show? Will you ask DJ Rand a question?
Yeah, is it hard to DJ?
There you go. Is it hard to DJ? I like it.
I would say it would be a hard job because you got to be like real energetic, you know, and I kind of do that on the show sometimes. I mean, unless you have like the aid of cocaine or something like that, you know, it is kind of hard to do. You know, it'd be like, I'm all up in your area, Jack.
I got it down. I don't know.
Just put your hands in the air, wave them around like you just don't care. You do that whole bit? Yeah. And then what's another one? The roof's on fire. Is that one of them?
I think that's what all the kids love today.
Yeah.
The roof.
We don't need no matches.
Roof is on fire.
Just let the MFer burn.
The roof is on fire. Yeah.
Songman likes that one. Look at that face. He's wanting to burn some roofs right now. Are you telling me you wouldn't be surprised if you came out and you saw this guy with a box of matches just thrown in that your house that's in flames? You look like he kind of looks a little like a pyromaniac.
Are you a pyromaniac, Songman? You're not.
I wouldn't say that. No. But by the way, I kind of feel like Incha's got the new name for, like you said earlier.
Here comes my burn. Here he comes. This pyromaniac's about to burn me. Go ahead, Songman.
I would like to see Incha as the new Incha Bean, not Butterbean.
Butterbeanish.
I could see that. Incha, you could be the new Butterbean. Inch Bean, I like it. You do have a butterbean-esque to you, a butterbean quality.
Hey, he's a Bart Gunn. He beat up everybody in the WWE. Mm-hmm. Came to Butterbean, no time at all. He was out.
Just like Incher.
Yeah.
Pounding some heady versus ass. Who would you like to Bart Gunn? So if you're Butterbean, if you could pick one person in the Headyverse,
you see, I don't even want to give this person credit because I think Bart Gunn is a hell of a performer who could make it that far. I mean, you got to give him some credit. He knocked out the Godfather.
So the person who would like to pummel really isn't Bart Gunn level. That's what you're saying.
I would like to pummel. It would be the first guy out of the gate. Maybe JBL him, you know, because JBL came out and he got his ass kicked.
Right.
He won against Draws, but that was fixed. Poor Draws. He didn't lose that match. Mm-hmm. But who would I like to JBL?
Steve?
I'm not going to say a name, but his initials are
Vic Schiavone. Is what?
La Blue Guy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, those are good initials.
Yeah. No, not Vic Schiavone. He's a good dude. He's got a cat named Oreo. I love Vic Schiavone.
And I'm an old guy. You don't want
and I'm old guy too. I wouldn't want to beat up on Vic. He's lovable. He didn't vote for me in the tourney, which breaks my heart. Breaks my heart. But what are you going to do?
I think a lot about the tournament is people were voting. Not like who they want to win or who they think, but you want to vote for not necessarily the people.
Jack's like Incher's up again. No, don't vote for Incher.
I don't think that.
Incher's up again. I'm not even going to watch the promo. No, whoever's up against Incher, that gets my vote.
I don't think the host of the show should be involved in the tournament.
Well, I didn't put myself in it. Your young boy did it. Your young boy did it, Jack.
That's why I was telling him right now, I don't think they should be involved in the next one.
Are you going to whip him? Next Fan Fest? Or are you going to take out the cat of nine tails and be like, no host in your tournaments?
Yeah, but you don't understand. That would be rewarding men. That's kind of our deal.
Okay, I see.
All right. So Songman, what's happening, man?
Yeah, what is helping? I'm only liking intro right now for the call for all, then the ball
The
for
call
all.
for all. I love it. That's awesome.
All for all?
I think that's a good one. So Songman really.
Yeah, there you go.
You gotta admit,
Definitely.
that was a good one. The call.
People just call me or something? What? I don't understand. I want to know what I'm signing myself up for.
Well, we got all the haters for intro on the air, just so everyone's aware, because I know everything is not truthfully said that's on the air that he has to share. But I know Vic or Jackie or whoever is the big teddy bear that's always on the air.
Oh, well, thank you.
That's really nice.
Was that positive? I think it was.
But what are you guys actually thoughts, by the way, about the Great American Bash? I was on mute earlier, but what are your thoughts on the Great American Bash? Because that's really gotten a big rating from last week. I'm surprised with being the war.
Yeah, they won in the rating war with AEW, so I do think it was a good show. I'm finding it hard to remember every match that was on there. Only one I could recall was Roderick Strong taking on Dexter Loomis. It wasn't Bailey and it was it Knox? Tegan Knox? Or was that?
Yeah, it was Nacha versus Io Shirai.
Oh, yeah, Shirai, yeah.
I have trouble with those NXT girls' names because they kind of look alike to me. The Tegan Knox and the what's the other one?
Kairi Singh.
Yeah, they look just alike.
Shayna
Baszler and that Tegan Knox. If you gave me $1 million to pick out which one was Tegan Knox and which one was Shayna Baszler, I couldn't do it.
I saw. I guess Shayna Baszler has been taken off television.
Yeah, what's up with that?
Yeah.
When I watched WWE, she was like, I thought she was one of the best. She was my favorite in NXT. And a really unique performer, much different than the other ones. A very believable performer.
Yeah, let's see if I can find like a YouTube cap to tell us what the deal was with that. I'll just go to YouTube.
Vince hates her.
Yeah, Vince McMahon doesn't get it.
No.
Is that a Dudley Boy shirt that Vic's wearing?
Yes, it is.
Awesome. I love it.
My kids get me the best T-shirts.
I like it.
Oh, yeah.
What would your Dudley Boy, if you were going to become a new Dudley Boy, if you're going to become a new brother, what would your name be?
Maybe Dago Dudley, maybe.
Dago Dudley, all right. And you can get away with that because you are.
I'm Italian.
If someone else would have called you that, it would have been bad. But yeah.
Well, the top results I get for Shayna Baszler on YouTube is Jim Cornette on Shayna Baszler being taken off WWE TV. And then you got WWE is scared of Roman Reigns. Shayna Baszler was supposed to win. I don't know what. But then Rey Mysterio rejects WWE. The end of Shayna Baszler. So it's the end.
I saw Ray's contract's coming up, and I saw people were hoping he went to AEW.
Yeah.
I kind of just hope he just retires. But
I don't think that's going to help Dominique if he's trying to get him in WWE.
No.
He wrestled last night. That was the one match I saw on Raw. It was him and Kevin Owens against Murphy and Seth Rollins, and the winner would get to pick the stipulation at a horror show between Rey Mysterio and the WWE once again found a way to insult everybody's intelligence because they came up with the stipulation that the winner will be the one who plucks the other one's eye out.
What?
Oh, my goodness.
That's what they said, I swear.
Eye for an eye match, yeah.
I mean, it's just...
You got to pluck an eye out to win this match.
Happen,
what the hell's going on in wrestling?
I think I'm liking this stipulation. Like, I think I want to see somebody's eye get plucked out. Maybe like... maybe like Murphy.
What do you do then? They just come back the next week and they have two eyes again? Or do they become like Scotty Riggs and start wearing the patch?
Yeah, the patch would be... Murphy would look good in the patch, wouldn't he? Like, that would give him some flair, you know?
I don't know who these people are anymore. Who's Murphy?
Murphy, the guy who was, the Australian dude.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I could see that. Could be his new gimmick. He's got a patch.
Yeah.
Weird. That's weird. Pull your eye. It's like a Christmas story match. You poke your eye out, kid.
It's a little more gruesome than just taking a Red Ryder BB gun and accidentally having the BB ricochet and put your eye out.
So we're gonna see like hardcore special effects, like a guy like their eye like getting ripped out of their.
Oh, mate, don't be pulling my eye out. I need that for seeing.
I had my eye ripped out in a movie.
Oh, you did?
I can't talk about this, actually.
Oh, why are you talking about it then?
Well, people don't know what movie it is, but I did have my eye ripped out.
Just tell everybody.
Yeah, come on, nobody's out in a film. I can't say what movie. Right?
Just say it.
No, but yeah, it was fun.
I think you just said it, though, did it?
But I didn't say what movie or anything. I can't say the movie.
You just said it, though.
No, I didn't. I didn't say the name of the movie.
You didn't say the movie, but you said what happens.
Yeah, but I can't talk about the movie.
It was your brown eye, right?
I know you're getting all excited about that. You start salivating. You're like,
Well, I just thought you had brown eyes, right?
I do have brown eyes.
Yeah, see? Jeez.
Some people will say they're like devil's eyes or doll eyes or just black.
Yeah, I could see that.
Does that make me evil? Lexar's in yes.
Yep.
You know what does have? He kind of has like devil eyes here. Is the song man? Like you can't even see the whites in his eyes. They're just like a shark eyes or a black. There we go. I see.
There we go.
But no, Songman's a very nice man. Nothing evil about him, no matter what interest.
So I guess the winner is going to be turning into the one-eyed dick. Then the winner's got to be the winner, the prick.
Whoa.
Man. Yeah, that's what I don't understand at all. What they came when this was announced, even though I missed it.
The eye out. I think in theory, I kind of think it's funny, but then you can't go back though. So this guy's gonna have to wear a patch for the rest of his career in WWE.
Just WWE, I would think. If he gets fired, I would say he could take it off. He could be like, "That was all fake."
But still,
here the wrestling's real.
Don't you think it's a big commitment?
It is pretty big, but I mean, it's about like. It's about like asking people to wear a mask, but like losing your eye. Is it on the same scale? You know,
puts the other guy as a killer. I think ripping somebody's eye out.
Like, could I wrestle somebody like this?
And then you could always go. That guy goes for an eye rake, and like it's a big move now. It's like, holy shit, that guy ripped the man's eye out. He's working the eyeball now.
And I just think it would have been better for this day and era for COVID-19 to just make it the mask go off. Since we're talking about masks, to make this more extreme. I don't think he's done this since he had that feud with Jericho.
Oh, you're not a WWE fan if you want to wear a mask. That's just that's what the Performance Center says.
Right. You said people are saying I'm low. Am I low?
A little bit. You could boost it a little. You might have to do it on Zoom a little bit. It may be a setting on Zoom. But I mean, you're not like low, like I can't hear you, but you are like your audio is a little.
Right.
Maybe if you moved it closer to you.
Yeah. Maybe. Well, I broke one of my.
What you breaking?
I tried to move a big chair down here, and I knocked over one of my bookcases, and it busted. It broke because I'm so powerful. I busted them, so I'm down to 2. But I did get a third one. I didn't set it up yet. So when I'm down to 2, though, I have to move the camera in closer, which means I have to move the microphone away a little bit.
Busting bookcases.
Busting makes me feel good. Is that any better? I turned the gain up.
Yeah.
Is it really any different? I don't know.
I think it is a little louder.
Hello.
Yeah, that's definitely louder.
Yeah. Hello.
Uh-huh.
All right. Is that good?
Yeah. That's good.
All right. Cool. Just as long as I bring up the gain, I don't want to pick up ambient noises.
Yeah.
So if you can hear anything elsewhere, just let me know.
Is there like a Looney Loon in the background going, caw?
No, but there's a television on upstairs.
Oh, there is? What's she watching? What's she got going on?
I don't know. Probably like right? Some...
it's a little late for The Price is Right, ain't it?
Yeah, it's probably some on DVR. I think there's a late... Oh, no, it's not a late night. But there is a late night game show back. Not this late, but... Oh, there's a new Whammies. Press your luck.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I know the Ohio lottery, they got like their own show that they have on like.
Because I watched it the other day. The guy won like $250,000. I was like, wow, that's way more than they used to win on the old Press Your Luck.
Mm-hmm. What was like the big jackpots on those? I never really watched.
10 grand probably. really.
10 grand? Yeah, that would be pretty anticlimactic if he's just like, you won 10 grand.
When I interviewed David Ruprecht from Supermarket Sweep, he said that on Supermarket Sweep, if your episode didn't air, that you wouldn't get the money.
Really?
So you'd go on the show, win, and then they decide not to show your episode they didn't think was entertaining or something. You actually wouldn't get your prizes.
So not only do you have to win the show, you have to win the show in an entertaining fashion.
Exactly. Isn't that crazy?
So if you win, you better just like start doing like something really stupid at the end so they'll air the episode. Like, like rip your shirt off or something, or just,
Yeah.
Yeah. What could you do?
What if I don't think you could win, but let's say you won $1 million on Supermarket Sweep, which I don't think is possible. Would they be just like, oh, this shit, we didn't like this show, so we're not going to air it? Then, I mean, you could really cheat the system.
Mm-hmm. Damn.
It did make me wonder if that's true for other game shows.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's unfortunate if it is.
Yeah, so
should be legitimate.
Next time you hear that beep, think of the fun you can have on Supermarket Sweep.
I'm having fun already. Thank you, Jay.
You look it. Tyler wants to know, did you have to move the dead animal? For people who don't know, I did have a dead rabbit down here for a long time.
Yeah.
And
yeah. Why'd you just leave it? Why didn't you get it out of there?
I don't know. It's like it was dead, and then it slowly just became like you could only after like 3 or 4 years, all you could see was just like the remnants of the fur and the tail.
What the hell's the matter with you? Why are you keeping that in your house?
It's in the basement. And the answer is no, I never moved it, so I think it's just disintegrated.
I live in the basement.
Yeah. Well, I do
what if I died in your basement? Would you just leave me there?
Well, wouldn't that be cool though? In a way, like, hey, that's interest spot. You just slowly decay into the cement until you just like disappeared. I was told that this is like a sign of like being a serial killer.
Yeah, I say you are a serial killer.
I didn't kill him. I didn't kill the rabbit.
I'm calling Sherlock Holmes. He's going to come up and knock on your door. And
I didn't kill the rabbit.
Drag you away to jail. I think that's what Sherlock Holmes does.
What I was more concerned about, I was like, I didn't kill the rabbit, but how did a dead rabbit end up here? Something else had to kill it.
Clearly.
The rabbit just had like a heart attack.
He could.
I guess rabbits can die of natural causes.
Skittish.
Which could have been from like, maybe carbon monoxide. I don't know. I probably should have thought more about this, but that was like 5 years ago or 6 years ago.
Back when I worked at the Drunk Tank, we went outside I was like my buddy that I worked with, they wanted to smoke or something like that. And we heard like something just go, wah! And then just like died.
Really?
And it turned out it was a rabbit. And it's like, I think we just seen the rabbit kind of hop away, and I guess a cat attacked it.
Oh.
I think we seen a cat. And it's like, why didn't that rabbit fight just a little bit? It probably could have got away from the cat. And I told that to my dad, and he said, rabbits don't have like a will to live. They just die instantly. And I'm like, how's that possible?
Yeah,
and the bad thing, I don't know if I want to even say it, but like.
You don't have a will to live?
No. About the rabbit, because I feel bad for the rabbit. I mean, it lost its life that night, but it kind of had some poopy coming out.
They say that happens when you die.
Yeah, so I kind of feel bad bringing that up right now. I feel bad for the spirit of the rabbit,
right?
And I'm busting him out. But I guess it happens to everybody.
When I was a kid,
did it happen to your rabbit that was dead in your basement?
I don't know. Probably.
Was it just this big pile of?
It was just a dead rabbit. It slowly was just fur, and now I don't think
you're just like
I haven't really looked for a while. I don't want to look right now, but
I'm Trent Reznor. I got a dead rabbit in my basement.
Is that weird though? Do people think that's strange?
100%. Yes. You should have got the rabbit out of your basement. I mean, that's attached to your house. You didn't smell it or nothing?
Yeah, you could smell it initially.
That alone should make you get the damn snow shovel out and scoop
but only
that
if I was
bitch up and throw it out the
downstairs. If I was
door.
downstairs and I didn't really use the basement much at the time.
Well,
Like I couldn't smell it from upstairs,
But when you initially find it, you get rid of it.
right.
Especially if it's in your house.
You know, it's been there now for like 6 years, so it's like, why bother now?
What's its name?
I don't have a name for it.
You monster.
What would be a good name?
You didn't name the rabbit?
Steve?
I mean, even the dead fucks that's up on Mount Everest, they give them a name. You got Blue Shoes. He's up there. He's dead. He's got Blue Shoes. That's his name, Blue Shoes. For the rest of eternity. Anybody who climbs Mount Everest, they name the guy Blue Shoes.
I didn't name it, but I did also find a dead, actually a couple dead mice in buckets of water over here.
Mm.
Like they climbed in the bucket and they just drowned. I did throw those out because I could just empty the bucket.
Why do you hate rabbits? Why are you going to get rid of the mice, but you're going to leave the rabbit there?
Well, the mice were kind of gross.
I mean, it's spirits inside of your basement right
They became waterlogged, and then they were just like pretty nasty, just floating in the water.
You need to bury the poor rabbit and give him a good burial.
Well, it's not too late.
I mean, Stephen, he's Indian. He knows this.
Maybe I shouldn't disturb the ground. Maybe it's like sacred ground.
It's your basement's not sacred ground. Are you high? Bury the poor rabbit, Jack.
Now that I think, honestly, I'm not saying this. When this fell, it was actually.
Are you going to tell me you smashed the poor rabbit's carcass with your
it's long gone. It's long past.
Is that what you're going to tell me?
It's really just part of the basement. I don't know if you can even see it anymore because, like the last couple of years, it really just you can just see the remnants of fur. For a long time, it was just like a tail in the ground because it slowly would just disintegrate into the.
Jesus Christ! I'm doing a show with Dracula here. What? Well, what's with this guy?
So when this fell, it would have actually fallen on the rabbit, or at least where the rabbit was, whatever his remnants. I didn't even think about that because it's probably about 5 feet behind this bookcase.
So there's like bone dust of the poor rabbit in your basement.
Yeah.
I mean, he's forever going to haunt you, Jack.
It could be good.
Oh, and breaking news! I was stalking Jackie Jones, mopping whenever he saw the bunny hopping because I know he thought that day wasn't making his day rocking while he was waiting for his popcorn to be popping.
Wait a minute. I'm calling Mike Johnson right now, and I'm going to report this breaking news that Songman just broke. Yeah. I don't have Mike Johnson's number.
I'm tight with Mike.
Okay. You tight with him?
Yeah. So I'll check on it this week before the next show. Maybe if there's anything to clean up there, we'll clean it up. Make you happy.
Get an exterminator.
Well, it's not like you don't get exterminator kill it.
You have mice running. You have mice that drown.
I live by the woods. Mice are not like. I don't have them running around. They're in the winter, people have mice around here, and you set traps and kill them. But these are just
maybe it's not a rabbit.
Died. No, it's just a rabbit. I know what a rabbit is.
Maybe it's a raccoon.
No, I know what raccoons look like. I have raccoons. I had a raccoon down here a couple years ago.
There you go.
Or did you just look at it and go, die?
No, I actually heard something downstairs. And so I came downstairs
Starved to death.
And I saw the eyes, and he just looked at me, and I was like, oh, shit. So I went back upstairs.
I imagine the raccoon would have got out of there, but the rabbit just wandered in your basement, and he was just like, I don't have a will to live. I'm just going to wait for it to die.
Maybe the raccoon killed him. I don't know.
Maybe. So it was like a battle between these two. The raccoon had a beef.
Could be. I did see a chipmunk down here, actually, the other day. Then I saw him outside. He was on my back step.
What the fuck else do you see? I saw a giraffe down here.
He's running across.
You open up your cellar door and the giraffe's head comes out. He's just like, You're like, oh,
The chipmunks.
I don't know anybody to get the giraffe out of my basement.
Chipmunk's pretty little. He just ran by. It's pretty cool.
Silverback gorilla.
I did see a coyote last night walking home. He ran right in front of me, which is weird.
You come into your basement, it's just like, oh. You're like, I close the door. Guess I got to do my Zoom conversation.
Yeah, well, I don't want to, put Incher off here. You don't want to let a gorilla get between us.
Oh God, I don't even know.
I'd rather see a Jackie Pet Cemetery inside this show.
I don't want to be buried in a pet cemetery. Don't want to live my life again.
God bless the Ramones, because they would just take any average horror movie film from back in the day and they would make a song about it. And they'd just be like, Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
It's not really an average. I mean, that's a pretty big movie.
Yeah. Do they got any other horror movie songs? I don't know.
Probably.
Yeah.
But, they actually did the theme for Pet Cemetery because that plays at the end. It's really weird because it doesn't really fit the movie, but it plays during the credits.
Was that Pet Cemetery 1 or 2?
I think it's the first one that plays.
I thought it was 2. I could be wrong, though.
Yeah, I could be, too. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure. The first one. I'd have to look it up.
It would fit more with 2 because 2 is a lot dumber.
So, out of Ron Hex and the Ramones, that's the only Texas Chainsaw Massacre songs that I know.
The Saw is family. By the way, speaking of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, this Thursday, day after tomorrow, John Dugan returns to Without Your Head, the grandpa from Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
No.
Excellent. Sounds good. I met the man at one of the fan fests that we
friends with John. Unfortunately, he was fortunately he's doing well, but he had battled cancer, had part of his jaw removed last year, but he's doing very well.
Yeah,
so that'd be fun to catch up with John. I get to see him in October at a convention.
Mm-hmm. That's great.
Yeah,
good dude.
Yeah. And last week too, it's we do the live in your head every Tuesday night here. I also do a lot of these Zoom things on Without Your Head with horror people in the horror world. Me, Terrible Troy, and Treacherous Trista on Thursday, and Trista and I have been doing a bunch of other ones throughout the week. So last week we interviewed Guinevere Turner, who was a screenwriter for American Psycho. It was really a good interview. Check that out.
Oh, cool.
So you can check that out live. It's Facebook watch parties like this, or you can also check them out after they're over on the
That was kind of a sleeper hit. Like, I didn't really watch it till several years after it was out.
Yes, you talked about that. Like, at the time, it wasn't really big with a lot of the audiences. And then, 5 years later, it started to and now it's, probably bigger than it's ever been.
It's like, damn, maybe we should have had Christian Bale in the second one instead of Mila Kunis.
Yeah, she had nothing to do with the second.
Yeah. Well, I think there
was a lot of people that were up for the role. Her partner in the film had to fight to get Christian Bale because the studio wanted a guy from Titanic. What's his name?
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah, Leonardo DiCaprio to play Bateman. And they just didn't think it was right.
You should have had a funny name for Leonardo DiCaprio. You should have had Leo Kavinovich or whatever. One of your crazy names, like Drew Gulak.
Yeah. Well, he's on the same level as a guy clearly no one knows.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, so they were just like
the kid from Growing Pains.
Because it was right after Titanic.
He was eating Gilbert's grape or something.
Exactly. I think I put this up here for the show.
Damn. The Blu-ray doesn't work. My Blu-ray of American Psycho.
You could have brought it up.
Yeah, it's a known thing. There's several Blu-rays of American Psycho. You'll put them in and they do not work. I can try it. Because I still I'd have to dig it out in the other room. But I tried it on my PlayStation 3, at the time. It was still fairly recent when the Blu-ray came out, and it just ceased to function. It just does not work. And I hear it's like a big thing that the American Psycho Blu-ray doesn't work. So, yeah.
So,
I need a replacement.
What would your Dudley name
Studios. I bought it secondhand on eBay. Damn it! Either give me a replacement, make this right with me.
You want me to call up? Let me add Guinevere in here, and you can tell her.
Yeah, make this right, Guinevere.
So
was Guinevere? That was like Halloran called Wendy or whatever. Was that it? Or when on The Shining? Remember that? When the Halloran, he was talking to her. And he was like, "Are you a Wendy or?"
Oh yeah,
is Guinevere short? Is Wendy short for Guinevere?
I don't know. It could be. You could be right. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
it probably is because Gwen. So yeah, Wendy. Huh? Interesting. Yeah. What else would it be short for? Wendigo.
Wendigo. It was Wolverine or the Wendigo. I mean, Wolverine, he became the big character.
Yeah, they debuted it. They were fighting each other.
Nobody cares about Nobody cares about the Wendigo. They're like, meh. I think they should have a fight nowadays because he's pissed because he didn't become a bigger character. Right. Maybe the Hulk killed him. I don't know. I never read the book. So maybe he can't come back.
Yeah, he's also mad at your pronunciation of when to go with it.
Maybe.
So, what would your
what other fictional character wants to come after me?
What's that? Wendigo's an actual legend.
Mm-hmm. Is it?
Yeah.
Did he die in your basement?
Possibly. It's more of a spirit, so yeah, it could be. Oh,
okay.
Maybe he came out of the rabbit. If I go back there and look this week, do you want a picture?
It's going to be like, no, I don't want a picture. Because it probably looked like that damn thing from Donnie Darko, you know? It's like...
I might have a picture of it from a few years ago. Let me see if I can find it. Do you have a
I don't want to see a picture of it from years ago.
Do you have a Dudley name?
A Dudley name? What?
Yeah, if you were going to become the new Dudley brother, what would your name be?
Oh, I'm sure they would make me like Cletus Dudley or something like that. Here comes Cletus Dudley, and I come out doing that whole thing. Like, I'm Cletus. I just got done eating some roadkill. Then Bubba would tell me to shut up, more than likely.
All right, I did find it. I'm going to send you a picture.
I don't want the picture, Jack.
What? It's just showing you that you can't really even make out what it is at this point. This was probably 3 years ago.
Should I look at the picture, Steven? Am I going to go to hell if I look at the picture?
Oh, go ahead.
Okay, Steven says
I'm texting.
Right.
It's taking a little while here. I think it went through. Lexar, what would your... Oh,
my God. I can kind of tell it's a bunny.
Yeah.
What's with your camera? You got, like, streaks in it.
Yeah, it was at my old phone.
What's your old phone? I mean...
Pull it up to the screen so we can all see it.
Should I do that?
Yeah, if you want.
Well, let's see. I'll just get it where it's just the picture.
Yeah, I don't show my phone number and stuff.
If I can do that. What is that? See how like, look at the quality of the camera. That's more horrifying than anything. What was this camera you were using?
Where's my old phone?
It looks like you got it in a trap or something. What is this, bars?
Yeah, it's from my weight bench and stuff.
Your weight bench?
Yeah.
You use your weight bench a lot. I'm not you got dead rabbits behind it. You're like, yeah, let's pump some iron. Oh shit, Bugs is dead.
Yeah, well, that is why I thought about me moving it, because I do want to clean off the weight bench and start using it.
Start pounding some weights.
When I can. I don't because my doctor's appointment keeps getting moved because I don't know if I'm okay to do weights. I'm technically only supposed to lift 10 pounds, nothing over 10 pounds.
Mm.
Well,
I see.
Now it's been a while since the surgery, so that could be.
Yeah. I
don't want to like bust my belly or something.
No. I mean, I'm no medical expert, but I'd say it's probably getting to the point to where you can lift some weight.
Been 17 months or something.
You could probably lift like the 2-ounce dead rabbit out of your basement.
I meant using the. I don't know. That's my excuse. I'm like, all right, Lexar. I mean, these.
What's up, Doc?
These each weigh 50 pounds, and I was lifting these. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I would get the okay by the doctor first, but I would say you got to be getting close to where it would be fine. I mean, I don't know how long like that kind of surgery would take to heal. I mean, that was a pretty extensive surgery.
Yeah, it wasn't a normal, even a normal hernia surgery. You can't do anything for. But this was. So Lexar, what would you, if you were to join the Dudley Boys, what would your name be?
Lexar Dudley.
Lexar. Vince Rudo here. He suggests Chico Dudley.
Okay, Chico Dudley.
Chico Dudley. All right.
I'm Chico Dudley.
How about Stevie here? Steven, what would your Dudley name be?
How about Dances with Dudley Jr.?
I like it. I was actually thinking that, but I didn't want to. See. How about Songman? What would your Dudley boy name be?
I'll say Flugly.
Flugly? Flugly Dudley?
I think this is an obvious one. It's Singing Dudley, right?
Singing Dudley.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. How about Jack? What would mine be? I'll let you guys name me. Handsome Dudley?
No.
Icon Dudley? Just the fucking greatest Dudley?
Bubbly Dudley?
Pilgrim Dudley? Powerhouse Dudley?
You have so many suggestions. Mm-hmm. Nature Boy Dudley, you're saying, Vic?
Werewolf Dudley?
Hawaiian Dudley?
Hawaiian Dudley, all right.
Rabbit King Dudley.
King Dudley, yeah.
Rabbit King.
The Rabbit King.
I named you after your least favorite human being, that guy from that Hordes Lions.
What? The Rabbit King. Yeah, I have nothing against. I don't really know anything about him. I just hate the fact that everyone's upset. I think that's died off though. So if you made a movie or something at this period and you like did a bunch of Tiger King references, it's probably gonna be really dated because I don't think that'll stand the test of time. Do you think in 10 years people will still be talking about the Tiger King?
Stuff doesn't stick around like it used to. Like, you used to be able to ride, those damn frogs that did Budweiser, they were around for years, weren't they? But like nowadays, they had T-shirts, everything else. I ain't seen no Lion King T-shirt yet,
Yeah.
So
I remember as a kid, I had
no time.
Like a California Raisins T-shirt, and that was which I kind of wish I still had. Pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Plus, it would fit. No. Mm-hmm. Fat Cat Dudley, Vince suggests here.
That's a good one.
I like that one. That one's probably the best one of the bunch. Yeah, I like that. Who else did? Who was the dog? It was like a little what was it? A Rottweiler? It was with her Budweiser, maybe.
Oh, that was Spuds McKenzie.
Spuds McKenzie, yeah.
That
was another one. I had a Spuds McKenzie shirt.
And Spuds was actually a girl.
I never liked beer or anything. I don't know why I had it. I think it was just because it was like a pop culture reference.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Spuds McKenzie it seemed like it was around for years.
Yeah. But I remember even Clerks 2, I always felt really, even just a couple of years after it came out, seemed so dated because so many of the references were very topical. But then just a couple of years later, like, like all the talk about freedom fries and stuff, like, just seems so outdated. I don't know if people even, because it's just a specific time period that went away so quick,
Yeah.
I'll drop that once in a while just because I think it's silly, about the freedom toast and all that stuff.
Yeah, nobody really remembers that anymore.
Oh, here we go.
What was it like?
Says it was Winnie or Wendy for Wendelin.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And Tyler is saying that Steven should explain the Wendigo because it is a Native American legend.
Oh. Story time, Steven. Do you know this one?
Just because it doesn't mean he knows it personally.
No, because I'm from Canada. Come on.
Uh-huh. Well, you got any Canadian like ghost stories? I mean, like, come on.
Oh,
okay.
Just
I'll let
local stuff around the reservation.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of old wives' tales about going into a graveyard and that sort of thing, knocking on crypts and. This is when I was a little kid. It's like. Yeah.
So you think we should get to questions?
I like questions.
I got a question of my own.
All right, let's hear it.
Lexar's got a question.
Okay, now, if you could go back to the very first season of In Your Head and transform it into the Zumafu, which episode would it be?
Interesting. Probably the very first episode would be fun. You go back and you could see all of us as young whippersnappers. I'd have long hair, curls.
Recording it on the VCR, yeah.
We all had hair then. I had big long hair. Intred had hair. Barbie had hair. I wonder what Barbie's like now.
It was even a little thin back then for me. I mean, I knew it was on its way out then as well. Like, I kind of had the Bill Murray look going on. Which Bill Murray is pretty bald now too.
Yeah.
So.
Was Terry Funk in the first episode? That would be a good one to have in video.
Mm-hmm.
Really, any of the interviews would have been good on video. But like
sure.
him, Paul Bearer would have been really good. J.J. Dillon. Really, all the interviews in general. But that's an actually interesting. How about for you, Lexar? Which any In Your Head episode? Which would you have liked to seen on video?
Anything that involves like any debates of like the big blue cage over the match.
You want to see us like argue and fight on video?
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
I don't think we've really fought here since we've been doing video shows.
Yeah, because you don't give a damn about wrestling anymore.
That's true. So we don't fight over the important stuff like big blue cage.
It's like, damn it, I said Hulk Hogan's the best. I would have liked to see the Wildcat Chris Harris episode on video. That would have been interesting. Wouldn't that have been good? Seeing like what's going on in Jesse Neal's house and all that.
Oh, that's an excellent choice. Yeah, there'd be no dick sucking anywhere.
Nope.
I would like to have seen how angry he got.
Yeah.
I know a good one too would have been the Cuban Assassin.
Me leaving my room.
You would have looked like Lexar during a Songman call. You just went in there, shaking your head.
Good question, Lexar.
I need to rewatch this. I've been told to check out Lexar last week when Vic's daughter pops up on video. I guess his eyes get very big.
Uh-oh, Vic. That guy over there?
I would take it as a compliment. Dom's Dean Mayo wants to know, when MC Hammer says you can't touch this, what is he saying we can't touch? That's a good question. I've never really thought about it. Yeah,
I believe MC was referring to just the aura of MC Hammer. You cannot touch this, as in you cannot be as popular as the MC Hammer was.
In many ways, John Cena's "You Can't See Me" is an updated version of "You Can't Touch This."
Exactly.
Very well put.
Well, clearly, you can see John Cena. He is right before you.
Right.
But that is not what he is actually speaking of.
I like the shirt.
What, the Hell Yeah shirt or Vic Schiavone's Dudley shirt?
My shirt. I don't care about anyone else's stuff. I just checked me in. Okay. No, your shirt's very cool too. I didn't realize that was a Hell Yeah. But see, this is Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Hell yeah, 316 says I just whooped your ass.
Mm-hmm. My mom saw that, and I was like, "Oh no!"
Oh man!
Oh, she's like, "That says 316," and I'm like, "Oh no, I don't want to have to explain the Austin promo."
Did she whip you?
Yeah.
Did you have to do like 10 Hail Marys?
Put the bar of soap in my mouth, and I died from soap poisoning.
I wonder if anyone has died from soap poisoning from.
Well, in the movie, he just died, but has anybody died of soap poisoning? That is the question. In your head, wrestling radio.
Lexar, do you know how to sew?
Do I know how to sew? No. But it looks like this. It doesn't even look like embroidered. It's like a screen caption, and then someone like sewed it on it. It's not. It doesn't look like it's embroidered.
It's 100% embroidered. This patch.
Interesting. Yeah, but it looks like it's like screen printed.
Do you think I'm using like CGI to have this on the show?
Like, let's see. I get a little.
Yeah. See. 100% embroidered.
See, now don't make fun of my stitching because it's pretty crappy.
Right, but
that's my stitching.
100%.
Now that's embroidered.
Yeah, it's the same fucking patch, Lexar. He's like accusing me of using CGI or something. Where do you think he got the patch from?
I seen a WrestleMania 27 hat that has like a
You need this.
Yeah, I was gonna send you one, but forget it now.
Buy this.
Who else has one of these incher on their wrestling jacket?
George South.
Boom! George South.
Oh yeah, that's another interview that I would like to be.
Yeah, I think we actually may be doing that in the near future.
Excellent.
Yeah, you gotta eat your Wheaties, incher. You're in good shape now, but you got to get ready for that one.
Is that a different one from last week?
How many poops you got?
I got a lot of poops.
It's weird how poops have became like a popular, cute thing over time.
It's the foulest thing ever, but it's cute nowadays.
Yeah, poop. Dobbs Dean Maya. When you're going about your day, what are some of your internal dialogues? Man, very deep questions here.
Internal dialogues.
I actually lately have been thinking of movie scripts when I'm walking. I come up with a lot of weird dialogue.
I think of like movies sometimes. Sometimes I got some movies in my head. Sometimes I got
like Ernest Goes to Jail.
Like Incher.
I saw recently that there was going to be an Incher Goes to Wrestling. Not Incher. Ernest Goes to... You're synonymous with Ernest, my man. It was they were going to make an Ernest Goes to Wrestling.
Talking about, Jack.
In the 90s. And it didn't come about for some reason.
Here on In Your Head, I'm trying to do for Ernest right now.
See, I've never watched an Ernest movie, so I don't.
So you don't even know what I'm doing.
No,
you're just like he's a dumb yokel. That's Incher.
It's like, oh yeah, Incher's being Incher here. Incher's doing an impression of himself here. So.
It is I, Incher.
How do you feel about those kind of characters, Ernest?
I think that, Jim Varney was a very talented man, and people kind of like marginalized him into that role, saying that, he's only Ernest. And it's kind of sad in a way. I mean, because
Crocodile Dundee was the same way, because he was a comedian in Australia and hosted like a kind of like their Tonight Show and stuff. But we only know him as Crocodile Dundee. But, that was just one of the characters that he portrayed.
Yeah. So... I mean, they're very talented people because Jim Varney was in other things like Beverly Hillbillies and Beverly Hillbillies and
Ernest Goes to Camp.
He was in Ernest Goes to Camp, and that's all people know him as. I mean, come on. No, he was in other things. I watched something recently that talked about some other movie that he was in.
Do you have like the Jim Varney collection, like the
No.
box set, all the greatest hits? But no, I don't really know much about him. I'm sure it's always a double-edged sword with something like that. That's the character that would have brought him his money and a lot of his fame, but at the same time, then you're pigeonholed in that and typecast.
But on the other hand, like, why not just ride that wave? I mean, like, look at Napoleon Dynamite. Like, if he would have just ride that wave, I mean,
But you have to have other people to make other Napoleon Dynamite movies.
Yeah, but like, I think there was a lot of buzz. They wanted more.
Yeah,
people wanted more. They wanted another Napoleon Dynamite, but he didn't want to do the role anymore. So
I didn't know that.
He did do an animated series. That's what I heard, anyways. You know, he did take part in the animated series, but outside of that, he's not really done a whole lot.
My man Minton said that I visited Jim Varney's grave when I was in Kentucky. I didn't realize this.
And I wasn't there. Why do you guys pick the distillery on the day that I'm there, but you go to Ernest's grave when I'm not there? You're like, let's go to
I thought you'd be too upset. You'd be like, whoa.
I want to go to Ernest's grave. And I'm like, that's Ernest. I'm like, here he is.
I have him in my basement over here. He's just a spot now over here by the bulkhead. I honestly don't see why that's such a big deal, having a dead animal that deteriorates into your basement.
You're trying to turn it into the hip thing now, right? You're like, hey, everybody's got a dead animal in their basement.
Yeah, Alexa, you don't see anything wrong with it, do you?
Nope.
See? I think he did. He was telling you to get an exterminator. Stop lying, Lexar.
He said he didn't.
You're my moral compass, Lexar.
He said he he doesn't even need an exterminator. So if he doesn't need an exterminator,
and they die.
Dobbs wants to know: would you ever want to meet yourself? It's an interesting.
You have to be like an older form of yourself.
Question, I guess,
because that is probably one of the best cinematic scenes ever. Is when old Biff meets young Biff. That is just beautiful, if you ask me. When old Biff is interacting with young Biff. So would I want to meet myself? Maybe as an old version meets the young version, you know. And I would probably see how dumb I was back then.
Minton says it was before you showed up. So yeah, we did actually go and do it the day before you showed up, I guess.
Damn you, Jason Minton. Damn. That's why my young boy Matthew Clutter is just far superior to you, because he just
said if
he
you
would
come
know
out
that I would want to go see Ernest's grave.
If you come out to Minton right now, he said, you drive on out to Kentucky, he will personally take you on the Jim Varney
on the Jim Varney's grave tour.
Mm-hmm.
Why is he in Kentucky? Isn't he West Virginian? What is he a defector? Is he going to Kentucky now? Is that the deal?
Is there really a difference? What is the difference between how do West Virginians perceive Kentuckians? I'm just wondering what the difference is.
Well, really, I mean, we're pretty much on the same level, but I would say there's bigger towns in Kentucky. I mean, you do got Lexington and Louisville, but I mean, outside of that, we're basically the same. I would say. I mean,
he's falling asleep there.
But you do have big cities in Kentucky.
I liked West Virginia too, but I was only there briefly.
Yeah, West Virginia, you don't really have any huge cities that people depend upon. I mean,
Minton said, "No, you dumbass. He's from Kentucky."
He's from Kentucky. I thought he was West Virginian. Apparently. I'm fact checking him on this. All right, Jason Minton. I'm fact checking you.
If it turns out he's from West Virginia, will you drive to Kentucky, dig his grave up, and take him and his tombstone to West Virginia and rebury him?
No, I'm not a psychopath. Okay, it says born Lexington, Kentucky. I thought he was from West Virginia. I thought I've seen that somewhere.
Man, you guys are just trying to repurpose. You tried to steal Jim Varney away.
I know. Well, you know, I guess we got Robert De Niro, so we're good.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Yeah.
Bobby D won out
West
on
Virginia.
that one. Robert De Niro and Jim Varney.
I mean, he's a great actor. Bobby D.
He's not quite.
I call him Bob. Yeah. Because we're fellow statesmen. I can do that.
Marty Van Buren. What WCW and ECW wrestler would you pick out of time from the Attitude Era and place into the current AEW roster?
I think Steve Corino would have been huge nowadays. I think he was big in ECW, but I think he would have been like a big star if he was planted into like a, like national exposure like TNT has. So.
I think Stevie Richards would be good.
Yeah.
Because he was a slender guy, which I don't think would make as big of a difference today. And RVD, I think RVD in any era would be big.
Yeah. I think RVD would have done a lot better.
Yeah, in his prime right now on a national level, he would be huge.
Yeah. He would have been a big deal.
Marty Van, that's a good question, though. Because there's a lot of guys that probably wouldn't work at all today, to be honest, now I think about it. Even though they had charisma and stuff. But
yeah.
Marty Van Buren, what wrestlers... Oh, I'm sorry. This is the one. John Barker, didn't Intra have an idea for the Boogeyman? You could make this quick and just say no.
I had an idea for the Boogeyman. It was something about gummy worms, but I can't remember anymore.
All right.
Yeah, you want to replace the real worms with gummy worms, I remember.
Oh, like having me gummy worms. Yeah, because I kind of feel bad for the worms, yeah.
There's the what do they call it? The Worm Kid on my walk. And I saw banners for this, and I found where it is. The Worm Kid, and he's a kid who sells worms. Like he's got like a lemonade stand, but instead of lemonade, it's worms. True story. And
like to go fishing with?
Yeah, because I'm in a big fishing community, and he sells like night crawlers and stuff.
Hey,
and so he's there sitting in his front yard selling them. And sometimes it's just, sometimes he just has, like, he's got a sign, the Worm Kid, and he'll just have like an igloo cooler. And I haven't really gone to look, but I assume you just open up, take your bag of worms, and leave the money.
I was about to start goofing on him and say he probably goes to school, and all the bullies are like, "Look, it's the Worm Kid," and they start beating up on. But that's kids don't operate like that nowadays. They don't beat up on people. I don't understand.
Like
we become so evolved,
Isn't that good? Yeah, I don't want kids getting.
I know, but in a way, I kind of miss it.
No.
You know what? Like the typical school bully going, "It's the word." I guess it's good for.
Well, maybe you miss it in a movie or TV show, but I don't think I really want actual kids being
like an actual bully getting.
Yeah,
like, that's kind of messed up.
Yeah.
Okay, that's how I feel now.
Plus, there's no school right now.
But even in
it would be like a Zoom video, or like they'd go and attack them on their Twitter.
But like, if Sling Blade came out nowadays and the Dwight character, do you think like they would like say you shouldn't write that in a movie nowadays?
Well, see, that's an interesting question because it's kind of two different things. I don't think someone should act like that, but I've no problem with someone being that in a film or a story because they're positioned as a villain, and then the heroes overcome being bullied.
Mm-hmm. But now just playing a role, though.
Oh, I know. I don't quite understand
blacklisted in a way.
Yeah,
it's so strange.
It goes like back to Rudolph when people say that it's about bullies, but the whole idea is he overcomes being bullied. So if you took out the bully aspect of Rudolph, there was no message to it. The message would just be everyone accepts him, which is nice, but you don't actually. There's no story arc. You don't get to that point.
It's like MJF nowadays. Like, you would call him like a wrestling bully. For
and he actually gets some. Yeah. I don't just mean heat. People I've seen like say it's not right. Like, at the convention I was at, the C2E2, and
as far as like the flipping the kid off or something you've seen.
Yeah, all that stuff. Flip the kid off, and but I was there, and everyone. That's when you went and met him. That's what you wanted. That's what you expected.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of like that.
And if you didn't expect that and didn't want that, I don't think you know who the character is.
Like we should just like wrangle up a bunch of like college kids today and take them to Dick's, the restaurant where they just berate you, and they just come out like they were just in like Vietnam or something. I was like
PTSD.
Like, what was that? They were so mean to me.
Yeah, there used to be one like that up in Boston. It's something's last resort.
I know it's probably not around. You told me about that. Is it not around?
It was when Jai was on the show because Jai wanted to work there. Remember?
Yeah, I remember that now. But does Dick's even exist anymore? I probably
I have one. Oh, Dick's. Yeah,
you do.
Yeah,
you tried to show it to me, but I didn't see nothing.
Yeah, it's because you were bent around the other way. How much?
Didn't feel nothing either.
Well, I mean, it's got so much use, it's desensitized by now.
Oh, whatever.
How much love does Incher have for Jack?
About right now?
Yeah.
Oh, sure. He's my buddy. He's my pal.
I got the love for Jackie. I hope he's got the same for OIB.
No, I'm not going to sing a song like that. But, I mean, yeah, we're bros.
How would you compare my singing, Lexar, to song dance?
Yours sounds like one of those tenors, Italian tenor.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So it's better, you're saying?
Yeah. And Songman sounds like someone from a bar down the street, like singing for like.
Who's drunk?
He's not making much sense, and yeah.
Why does Jack love his coffee bold and black? It's a good question. So once I stopped, I stopped eating sugar. And cream in my coffee because it adds a lot. The coffee itself really isn't bad for you. It's just if you add cream and sugar to it, and so it did take me a little while to be able to drink black coffee. Mm-hmm. But once I got used to it, I absolutely love it, and I don't like it any other way. And my grandmother used to always say when I'd give her flavored coffee or something with sugar or cream in it or any kind of sweetener, she would say, does it taste like coffee? And I never understood what that meant. But now I totally get it because now when I drink it black, like this right here, this is a big thermos of black coffee. And I keep it in a thermos so it's always boiling hot. Like I don't know if you can see the steam's rising in it. I don't know if it's picking up on the camera.
The size of that thermos kind of reminds me of Brian Knobs for some reason.
You're getting all excited.
No.
Yeah, now you're wondering.
Excitement has nothing to do with it.
That's exactly why you didn't feel anything.
Whatever.
So
you're no Hulk Hogan. Don't you even let on.
So anyway, the black coffee.
Oh yeah, brother.
I've progressed. So first I took the sweetener out. Well, first I was doing artificial sweetener, but artificial sweetener really is actually worse for you than if you just drink sugar. But we'll get into that another time. So I went from that to just having so I got rid of the artificial sweetener, and then I just started drinking it with milk, skim milk, and then almond milk, and then eventually just black. And once I got to drinking it black and got used to it, you really can taste the actual coffee more. And then from there, I started to get nice coffees, and then I went to French press.
Yeah.
Now I'm to the point where I can't drink anything but whole bean coffee that I grind myself. Otherwise, it's very far inferior. So now I grind. Not only do I eventually maybe I'll just start roasting my own beans. So I get the whole beans, grind it down right before I make a cup. Right, because you can't see if you grind it. That's why the pre-ground coffee loses its flavor. But if you grind it right before you brew it, it's the full flavor.
Why don't you just kidnap Juan Vardis and put him in your
beans still have the
your basement?
You want the beans it still has almost like your head, but it's dark, but it has that shine to it. You want to shine to the beans, so it has almost like it's still a little not greasy, might not be the right word, but the oils from the bean you want in there because when it's ground, it's going to lose that oil. So you want this nice I'm just getting excited thinking about that nice gleam on the bean. You throw it in there and you grind it up. Then you throw it and you pour the hot water and it soaks it up. And it brings out all the flavors. And I like the dark roast. Now, a lot of people don't know this, but dark roast coffee, the darker the roast, actually the less caffeine it has. Even though it'll have a more distinct flavor, it'll be a richer, darker coffee flavor. It'll actually have less caffeine in it. Because the more you roast the bean, the more caffeine you take out of it. So a lighter roast is actually more caffeinated, but is a lot weaker tasting. And I don't like that. I like the rich coffee flavor. So I like a dark roast. I actually have about 6 or 7 different blends up in my, well, not blends, but different roasts of coffee. And, you can look at them and say, this is an earthy blend. This is a smoky, sweet blend. This has hints of burnt caramels. This has an herbal taste. So there's all these different things. It's like a fine wine. And once you get into the coffee, you can totally pick these up. So I'll drink a cup, and I can pick up the earthy tint. I can pick up the burnt caramels, and it's absolutely delicious. It's like drinking a fine bourbon or drinking fine wine. You're getting all these hints and the aromatics from the beans. I love it. I'm getting orgasmic just thinking about how good black coffee is. And by adding the creams and sugars, you're hiding the flavor of the coffee because you're trying to cut through there's an inherent bitterness. But once you get used to that bitterness, you enjoy the coffee for what it is and not hiding it under sugars and creams.
Hey, what about back crap coffee? Have you had that stuff?
Nope. Oh, where it's like the bean that comes out of the shit.
Yeah.
I don't think they do bad. I think it's like some kind of weasel, not a weasel, but some kind of.
I thought it was a bad.
Might be.
They may have discontinued that now.
Probably.
Maybe it's not the best thing to be drinking the back crap coffee.
Would you eat jack crap coffee? Like if I just ate a bunch of beans, crapped them out, sifted them through the poop, and then I just sold them by the bag, jack crap coffee.
No.
What if you tasted it was amazing, and then you're like, oh, then you found out where it came from?
Well, thank God I don't drink coffee, so nobody could trick me into this one. But don't be brewing any other type of stuff.
Oh, yeah, I love it.
Out of your crap. I don't want any. I'm not going to accept any drink that isn't like sealed by a factory from you. Yeah.
I can tie a cherry stem with my tongue.
You can. It's quite a talent. You got to do it for us one time on the show.
I'll do that. I don't have any on me, but I'll do that.
Okay.
We'll turn you on.
I just think it would be good for the camera.
So Juju, get ready. You're going to get excited. There is a video of me doing it, but it would be cool to do it live on video.
Mm-hmm. Just to prove that you're not just blowing hot air. You are 100% serious when it comes to your.
I'm the most honest man in all podcasting. I would not make up such a thing. I also have a very big tongue. That's why I have an underbite. The teeth are actually. It's because my tongue is large and it pushes my jaw. The dentist suggested that they do this thing where they dislocate my jaw, push it back, and then wire my mouth shut for like a month. And I was like, no, that's good.
That sounds fine.
I'm fine with having a small underbite. Like, who the hell wants to do that? Just so your teeth are aligned like a few centimeters.
Yeah, it sounds like hell for a couple months.
Yeah, and it makes no difference to me. The only thing is if I bite through like a piece of pizza, sometimes like the pepperoni I won't because my teeth don't meet in the front, so you won't be able to bite through the pepperoni. You know what I mean? So it'd be like this, and then you'll actually be pulling the pepperoni out. But it's a very minor problem. I don't need to have my mouth wired shut to fix. It's very interesting.
If we ever have Britt Baker on, maybe you should ask her for her advice.
I tried to get her on because she's in a new horror movie, but
what? Too good for us? Too good for us? We're sitting here talking about back crap coffee. I mean,
back crap coffee.
I got the back crap coffee. Yeah.
I was singing that to Cat Scratch Fever.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking too.
Yeah. It seems like it would go, right?
Yeah, seems like it. Yeah. But I think when I did it, it didn't quite go as well. Like,
back crap coffee. I know you're a big Ted Nugent fan.
Oh, geez, the biggest. He's got huge tunes like Cat Scratch Fever. And
what's that one? It's like
Wango Tango.
Yeah, Wango Tango.
Is Stranglehold his? Is that his? I think that's one of his, isn't it?
Could be.
It's a very controversial song, especially for today's standards.
Jason Mitten said, I did get Jack's coffee in Charlotte. It's true. I think at that time I wasn't drinking black coffee, though. I think I had it with, because they got me with whole milk. I know I feel bad, but I wouldn't drink it because it had whole milk in it.
Did you throw it in his face? Did you go, ugh, this has whole milk? Be gone!
Yeah, it's either cream or whole milk. I can't drink that.
Did you do a spit tag where you're what is this? How dare you bring this to me? This is whole milk. Be gone with his coffee.
That might have been the year before, maybe. Might have been when Clinton was there. I don't know. I think I was drinking black coffee at this time. I don't know, but it might have been the time before. I don't think I was drinking. I don't know. It was some time though. But I remember once, so they got me with whole milk. I was very upset. But I think this year I was drinking black coffee at that time. Shaheen is here with us.
Hello, Shaheen.
What's going on, guys?
How's it going? Talking about all the important topics of wrestling, like black coffee.
We got
actually,
all.
why I called in was for the coffee, man. I'm a big coffee guy. I actually, I'll probably never be working for a corporation again, so it doesn't matter. I used to manage a Starbucks, for years. So I had to go to coffee testings, and I had to know every fucking thing about every coffee you can imagine. And you're right, the darker the roast, the less caffeine it has.
Yeah.
The blonde roast and all that stuff, that's the most caffeinated, believe it or not. Not in taste, but
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I tried recently just to see, because I normally hadn't liked the light roasted coffee, and I was like, well, I'll give it a shot again. But no,
right.
Just tastes weak.
Yeah, I'm a big coffee fan. I like tea more, though. You kind of switched over from tea, didn't you?
Huh?
You kind of switched over from tea, didn't you?
I did for a while. I started drinking coffee again. I did stop drinking coffee for a while because I had high blood pressure. But from understanding, that actually does not have an effect on your blood pressure, the coffee, unless you just drank massive amounts constantly.
So it's bullshit. Bullshit to that.
But I do like tea, too. I drink both.
Andrew,
when I drink the tea, I put some local honey in it. That's the only sweetener I use is local honey, because local honey will help your immune system against
I don't drink
allergies.
No coffee,
because it has the local pollen in it. It gets you a little bit built it up, and it really works, because I used to have really bad allergies, and once I started doing that, I don't have allergies. Knock on wood during the summertime.
You're not a big caffeine guy?
I don't drink many caffeinated drinks as far as
root beer.
Only Bargs, is that how you say it?
What?
Brags, or what's that? Barts. Yeah, they're the only ones that has caffeine. Everybody else doesn't have caffeine.
I always thought
all root beers is caffeine free, just about. No. I don't drink much caffeine. I drink Sprite. It's been years since I've had a Mountain Dew.
Is Sprite caffeine free?
Sprite is caffeine free. Yeah.
Holy shit! I didn't know any of this. I thought pretty much all soda was caffeinated.
No, root beer and Sprite. They typically don't have caffeine. What else do I drink? Water. It's caffeine free.
Were you drinking iced tea for a while? I think that's good.
I was drinking Like the green tea? I was drinking that.
Tea doesn't have nearly as much caffeine as the coffee.
No, it's pretty minute, I would say. I gave it all up once I started breaking out on pop, like Pepsi or Coca-Cola. I never tried Royal Crown, but I imagine the effects would be the same. So I gave it up because I would get like hives like on my wrist and on my, my neck. I remember under my arm would get like hives real bad whenever I would drink pop. I just got allergic to it for some reason. So bad story.
Well, I'm glad you're doing better.
Thank you, sir. I can't drink the sody pop no more.
What kind of tea are you into?
I just drink the green tea mainly. I used to get that Lipton's a little bit. Yeah.
It's not even tea, man. Come on. Lipton.
Are you all questioning my taste in tea?
I always hated it if you get tea somewhere and they always like you're at a hotel or whatever and they just have Lipton there. It's like those.
Steven, are they making fun of me for drinking Lipton now? Why are they making fun of me here?
I think Lipton tea, the actual tea bags, Lipton tea, it tastes like green beans.
Oh, you can't mention tea bag without a joke. Come on. I teabag you.
I have a tea bag.
Where's classic Jack?
I have you put loose tea in it and you put it in your water and put in your water, to brew tea. Jason sent it to me and it's a ball sack.
You've shown that before, yeah.
Oh. Very witty.
Dude, I'm a total bitch when it comes to my tea, man. How you're like so fancy with your coffee now. I'm like that with my tea. Like I can't just drink regular tea, man. I have to get like. Keep in mind, I'm Persian, so I grew up like drinking tea as a fucking infant. But I'll put like rose petals in my tea, like all kinds of fancy shit. Yeah. Flavor it up.
Right here,
Spice it up.
That's the good stuff. Diet Frosty, baby.
Gotcha. Is that local or is that like a?
I think they're Detroit, actually. I think they make Frosty in Detroit.
Okay. Yeah, I know Frosty. Pennsylvania has a lot of local root beers, but.
You got Frosty, Steven? They got that up in Canada?
Bad Mr. Frosty.
Look at that guy.
You got A&W and Hires root beer. That's about it.
You, Lexar?
Oh, I don't think that I have that in my state at all.
What do you drink? What are you drinking, Lexar?
I drinking lots of Coca-Cola and Pepsi and Mountain Dew. But I've been drinking like orange juice because I hear like soda is not too good for you. So
orange juice does have a lot of sugar, but it does boost your immune system.
Well, it's not like Minute Maid or...
What's happened to us, Jack? What has happened to us? I'm not exactly like... I'll eat bad stuff still, but I'm mainly a calories person. I count calories, and that's it. If I have the calories, I'll eat cheese fries. But the most time you don't have the calories to eat cheese fries. You would have to go like all day to have the calories for cheese fries.
Just eat cheese fries.
Just cheese fries. That's all you ate. So you really have to be selective.
I saw one of my local seafood places has this new thing. It's chowder fries. And it's fries like covered in clam chowder. That didn't particularly sound good to me, but
I did cheat on my diet on July 4th, and I felt bad about it.
Really?
But there's so many goodies.
You should have a cheat day because if you should have a cheat, at least a cheat day a week, a cheat meal a week. Because if you give up everything, you're going to be a lot less likely to stick to it.
I was trying to keep in the budget, so I had me like 2 hot dogs and a hamburger, and I was like, okay, I'll stop. And then they brought out the brownies, and then the ice cream, and then the chocolate syrup, and
it's a holiday. That's fine.
And so I ate it, and then I went for another one, and then I went for a cupcake, and then. So I messed up. Well, how many calories did I have? I just estimated because I knew I blew it. On the 4th, let's see, 4th of July, I had 3,732 calories, just by estimation.
Just that one meal or the whole day?
That one meal in particular was 1,284.
You sure wasn't more eating all those cupcakes and ice cream?
Well, and then we break it into snack, and my snack was 1,846.
Yeah.
It's
once a year. I don't see an issue with that.
Gosh darn it, it's Bastille Day. I'm going to eat what I want.
It was 2020.
No one's arguing with you. You're just arguing with yourself, honestly.
I'm just trying to be
I know.
trying to be funny.
And I am too.
Oh, okay.
Jack and Intra, listen to the show 2 times from start to finish at work. So fuck everyone else. Love the show. Keep up the great work. I don't understand that, though. So fuck that insinuates that everyone else hates the show. We're like, what the fuck is this bullshit?
Why has he hated everybody else? It's all right. Calm down.
I will say,
we all love you.
It's all been. Now I say this, and someone will go and troll it, but it's been all positive comments on the YouTube.
Excellent. Thank you, YouTube.
Except for one guy wasn't really negative. He was just like asking whatever happened to the show, and I was just like, if only there was a website that would tell you all this information. He's like, I used to listen every week, but then what happened? I'm like, it's on the same fucking website that it's been since 2005. So I didn't understand. But
maybe he was getting it off the torrents. Maybe
it could be.
I've seen us on torrents.
Yeah, people. Before. I don't know if they still do, but probably when we had the interviews more, people would torrent the interviews, which I always thought was hilarious because they were totally free, but they would put them up. Like I would rather bootleg this and just go listen.
I want to bootleg it instead.
It adds to the enjoyment.
Okay, we could say you stole that. It's for free anyhow.
Stephen Butler wants to know. He's right here, actually.
There he is.
In what city do you think WWE will put on live shows in front of actual fans?
Not in my base.
And how many people will get COVID-19 as a result? I'm assuming Texas because they don't care. Florida doesn't seem to care too much. But Texas, I think they've just opened up everything, and then it's just going crazy. And even Mexico is like, we don't want you guys in here. We're going to build a wall.
Jeez.
I laugh about it, but I don't know what else you're supposed to do. That or just get really depressed, I guess.
Crazy times we live in.
Mm-hmm. I actually I mentioned this. I have a flight to Texas in September, but there's no way I'm going on this. Brian Matthew Clutter. Should Jimmy Havoc change his name to Halloween when he returns?
Halloween?
Yeah, Halloween Havoc.
Oh, that's pretty good.
I like it.
Yeah.
I don't know if he'll come back, honestly. I mean, I think they would be bad for them to fire a guy who's in rehab, but I don't know if he'll return.
Well, what about that Justin Roberts? He's right there announcing on the Fighter Fest.
Maybe they don't think there's anything to the allegations. I don't know.
Maybe they. I mean,
that's the thing. I mean,
we weren't.
You got to take these things seriously, but sometimes that doesn't also mean that they're all true either.
Yeah.
Especially if there's just one. I don't know. I don't know enough about it, but I don't know. But when there's multiples, I tend to believe there's there's truth to it.
Mm-hmm.
I am kind of surprised though that he wasn't at least taken off TV for a couple weeks or something. Just looking. I don't know though. Maybe they did look into it. I have no idea.
I guess they didn't have anybody else.
Now I'm sure because he wasn't on all the time anyway. They would have that woman was pretty good that they had on when he wasn't on.
Oh yeah, that's right. They did have a lady. I forgot.
Yeah, I forget too. But she was actually talented. I thought she's good.
Mm-hmm.
Al Oob, how pissed do you think Cornette is that Sarah Logan and Kairi Sane are leaving the WWE to focus on having families?
I'm sure he's not happy about it. Yeah.
Fucking families.
That
is one of the weirdest things that he got so mad. I listened to, and then everything he does, instead of just saying maybe I went too far into this. I'm not even apologizing. Just say, whatever they want to do. He always has to double down on everything, and it's like, dude, if someone wants to have a baby, it's up to them if that's more important to them than wrestling for the WWE.
Yeah. I mean, I think he just lives so much in the wrestling bubble that it's just hard for him to accept. It was really weird.
A lot of that stuff I was listening to because sometimes I don't really listen to him much because it's just so negative and I don't really enjoy that. But to really keep in touch with stuff to talk about. I'll listen to some of this stuff. And that was a really bizarre take. Like sometimes I can even kind of see where he's coming from, even if I don't agree. But that one is just strange to me because he was like saying like they should have it in their contract, the WWE, that like you get fired if you're like pregnant. It's like, dude, what world do you live in? Like you can't do that in America. Like
No.
like that's not been legal for like decades.
That was a little wacky, some of his views on that. Yeah. Little wacky.
And he's a guy who left. He's left WWE because he didn't enjoy it. It's like, why can't someone else leave it to do something? To have a family.
Do you think it was not like he
maybe
didn't
she doesn't
enjoy
want to
it,
come back, or maybe she will
like,
come back. I don't know.
Do you think it wasn't because it wasn't like wrestling how he likes it?
Probably. And what better time to leave? Who wants to wrestle with no crowds?
Yeah. That would be hard. Just people taking off.
I would feel like a goof.
Yes.
Bye-bye, Steven.
Oh,
I'm tapping out here, folks.
Right. It's good seeing you, Stevie.
You're a good man, Steven.
Stevie.
Good night.
Take it easy.
You're taking off too, Lexar?
Yeah.
All right. Good night, Lexar.
Good. How are we going to finish the show with our CBS Sports analyst here?
Well, we're just going to look at the light.
Let's check out his room. What else is going on?
You think we'll ever see his mom on camera?
I don't know. We might get lucky.
I kind of think he's just going to stay here, and he just think. Oh, I thought maybe he just thought if he put the camera to the ceiling, no one would see him anymore.
We just hear Lexar snoring throughout the show.
Here's Mom. What are you doing again? Put that away. You're going to go blind. Ryan Matthew Clutter. I do enjoy I don't notice him so much when we're doing the show sometimes, but when I like edit the show or I'll put it on YouTube and I'll just kind of scroll through to find a cool, thumbnail or whatever. A lot of the expressions that Lexar does when other people are talking are hilarious. Like the whole time when Sogman's on, anytime Sogman will sing or something, his facial expressions are just very funny.
So Lexar on camera is an improvement.
It's a big plus. Yeah, I'm down. Not quite as creepy on camera.
Yeah, it does take away a bit of the mystique there. Yeah,
which I'm happy about, I have to say. Brian Matthew Clutter. When the president recently tweeted the Lone Warrior, do you think he was referring to the greatest pro wrestling faction of all time, the One Warrior Nation?
No, I don't imagine he was.
I'm not even really sure what it's in reference to. But
me neither. I'm not sure either. All I know is that he did give us a commercial-free Raw. I know.
Al Oob has interest sent in his application yet. Let me see here.
Application for what?
I have to click on it to know what the hell's going on.
Oh, there's a link.
Yeah. All right, interesting. So it's a bidet company will pay you $10,000 to poop. So you're going to test out like these bidets. You'll poop and then you'll.
I might not be able to deliver nowadays though, because I don't.
You don't poop?
Like I do go days where I don't even go to the bathroom.
Really?
He doesn't go to Wendy's anymore.
Yeah. So I hate to kill the whole thing, but it's like, yeah, I mean, like I think I sat down the other day and I was disappointed in myself. I was like, what's happening to you, man?
I don't take disgusting shits anymore. I'm disappointed.
Do you have a collection? Did you ever take pictures of them? You're like,
no,
man, this one's really impressive.
Foul. There's something wrong with you. You're taking pictures of your poop. I mean, nobody wants to see that. Nobody.
Do you miss it? Do you miss like not just having bowel movements?
No, like getting done eating and having to rush to the bathroom. That was awful.
I never understood that. I don't know how you could just eat and it just would. It was almost like you didn't digest it. Just would like it was just one.
I mean, it happens sometimes, but like, when I start counting calories and everything and really observing what I've been eating and like it just stuff just doesn't go through me like it used to. I don't know. So sorry. But,
I eat a lot of vegetables, and that does.
I don't know if I would meet the expectation of the job, though. Like, I might not be able to deliver. I might fall short in that department. So, Sorry.
I'll do it. Maybe I'll sign up. Yeah, Tyler Stevens, what kind of gear would you go? Would you be upset if I became the known pooper of the show?
That's fine by me. You can have the title if you want it.
Tyler Stevens,
how many times do you go a day? Let's see. Let's see. What's your numbers?
Probably once.
Come on,
twice,
kid.
Maybe.
Come on, kid. Do you think you got what it takes?
No, I'm very regular, but a lot of that is because I've been reconnected.
Can I ask you guys a question real quick?
Huh?
Since we're on the topic of poop, I was just thinking. I was just high and thinking some dumb shit while I was walking my dog. So obviously, you get mad at your dog when he or she poops in the house.
Right.
And I was just thinking the other day, I was walking my dog, and I'm like, this dog must think I'm weird as shit. No pun intended. Because every time I'm just like collecting its poop. Like it doesn't understand that I'm disposing it.
Right.
It probably thinks like, oh, dude, every time I take a shit, you're like right behind me with this fucking bag. Just like, what is your deal? And then I shit in the house. Like you got a collection of it. So like I figured I'd give you more. I shit in the house to make it closer, and you get mad at me. I'm confused.
It's very true.
I was thinking about that the other day.
I noticed lately around here, people bag it and then they just leave it on the sidewalk, and I'm like, the whole idea of putting a bag is to throw it away and just to leave it sitting there.
That's even worse.
I know, it's worse for the environment than if you just had it put there.
At least it composts on its own if it's just fucking sitting there.
Yeah.
Jesus. That's some 2020 shit right there, man. That is some dumb.
Yeah, it's crazy and annoying. Tyler Stevens, what kind of gear would you guys have if you were wrestlers, like your entrance and ring attire? It's a good question.
I'd probably go with like some
like an overalls. Chaps. Oh, really?
Yeah, assless chaps.
I was thinking like Hillbilly Jim kind of attire, but assless chaps.
Yeah,
pretty sweet. The power bottom goat.
What?
The power.
What the hell are you talking about, Jack?
Well, I think that would match.
That doesn't even make any sense to me. I don't even know what you're talking about. What's a bottom goat? What? Well, I answered the question. Why don't you answer the question? What would you be wearing?
Interesting. I was thinking like red, white, and blue. Kind of matches the old like Uncle Slam gimmick, but like in today's world, that's a weird thing to do. So I don't know. I don't know. What do you see me in?
You would probably be like a good like Islander. Yeah.
An Islander?
Like, like a Samoan dude, How
about like the Hawaiian shirts and stuff? But then like I guess like people now that's like white supremacists. Like if you're wearing the Hawaiian shirts.
Oh, that's right. That's the new thing.
What do we got?
Don't walk around for 7 miles wearing that fucking shirt, man. You're gonna end up getting jumped.
It's like, why do they always take on like comfortable clothing like that?
Just like really mundane stuff. Like
yeah,
you get the. I guess I shouldn't do that. You do the AOK symbol. I'm carrying my tiki torch. Oh, what are Incher's thoughts on Jack and others wanting to tear down Abraham Lincoln statues? To put this in reference, I've posted a picture of this, even way before it's become a thing that people talk about, because I've seen it in person. It's in the North End, Abraham Lincoln statue, and it's clearly like a horrible design. So it's Abraham Lincoln standing there with his hand out over a rag-covered black guy who's kneeling down, like looking up at him like he's like the king or like Jesus or something. And it's to signify the emancipation. Yeah. And so I get, but it's not a nice image. And anyone who looks at that and tells me that's a good image, I don't think they're being truthful. So it's not the idea of tearing down Abraham Lincoln statues. It's the idea that's not a very good symbol. They could have a better looking Abraham Lincoln statue.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, like the artist kind of like was a little how you want to put it, like
maybe it was meant in a good but look, times change too, like sensibilities change.
The artist could have been a little more tasteful with their
it's not a nice image. I mean, honestly.
I don't know how to describe it, but yeah, it seems like it is a little in poor taste.
As long as they don't take down Turtle Boy, which is my favorite statue in Worcester.
Turtle
and it's
Boy?
this, and I got to see it in person in October. I finally found it. Annabelle and I were in Worcester in October, and we went walking around. I looked for it for years. I couldn't find it, and then we were just walking, and I was like, "Holy shit, there it is!" We were even looking for it, and it's like some judge or something from Worcester in the 1800s, and supposedly he rode around on a turtle when he was a kid. But the statue, you can't look at this and tell me, does it look like a young man fucking a turtle? Because that's what it looks like. He's behind the turtle. He's holding. He's got like this orgasmic look on his face, and he's just got it like right. He's not on it. He's got his. It's like he's like sodomizing the turtle, and the turtle's got this big like. Looks like it's in pain or shock. It's the strangest statue I've ever seen in my life. And
okay, so this is your favorite statue.
I think whoever sculpted this was having fun. They were like, they want me to make this. I'm going to make this guy fucking a turtle, and they're going to put it up in town, and I'm going to get away with this.
So was Lexaring the turtle?
Yes, but I think he's like full on just sodomizing the turtle.
So you're telling us that you are in favor of sodomizing turtles? Is that what you're saying?
In statue. I like the idea that this is a statue in the middle of town that people walk by.
So that's your favorite statue because it makes you laugh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to look this up, and I'll send you a picture. There's no way if you disagree this time, you're just doing it to...
Intro, how do you feel about the statues getting torn down south?
Some of them I couldn't agree with, but like some of them I don't agree with. It just depends on which ones they are. I mean, I don't know. This country was built on some very controversial figures that we've kind of like made into like these heroes, but they have done some dastardly things. I mean, that's just kind of
a lot of the statues of the Confederacy weren't even put up until the 60s during the Civil Rights Movement. So they were really just put up to troll people who were fighting for their right.
Well, you know what bothers me is like, so you guys remember when Saddam Hussein's statue was torn down like a decade ago?
Mm-hmm.
And everybody cheered that.
Right.
I don't really see the difference. You know what I mean? Like I don't really see any of the difference. And you look at like the Nazi era. I mean, all the statues of Hitler were torn down. All the symbolism was torn down. I don't really understand why it's even around now. Like
I was surprised that people in our military could even have the Confederate flag.
Right.
I was like, people were like mad that they told them they could. Like, well, why could they have it to begin with? That's not the American flag. Like, it made no sense.
Yeah, they lost, man. They were very un-American, actually. Yeah. Like it's like the most un-American thing.
Right. You know? It's like I honestly, if you in your privacy of your own home, you should be able to have. So if you want the Confederate flag in your home, I mean, whatever you want to do, that's up to you. But it shouldn't be on our military, and it shouldn't be in like a courthouse or something.
Go to the library. There's a fucking huge KKK statue with a Confederate flag. I'm like, why is this here?
It's our heritage.
It's really uncomfortable right now, you know?
Right.
Then people were like, oh, my heritage. I'm like, dude, you're from Pennsylvania. What heritage are you talking about?
Was saying that he's from Boston. I'm like, our heritage is not the Confederate flag.
Right, you're on the wrong side, buddy. You get your heritage all messed up. You know, and as far as erasing history and stuff, man, like taking statues down is
it's silly.
In the books forever. Internet exists. Come on.
I only know things that have statues.
Right. Did you forget about the Nazis? Because I mean, they tore all that shit down. Did you forget about that?
Look at that. Look at this.
Yeah, I guess they could put some pants on Turtle Boy.
Oh yeah, it's fucking okay. Right.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it's taking Finding Nemo to another level, man. That's a fucking he's riding them doggy style.
And the turtle looks so shocked.
I bet.
There's no way whoever was commissioned to make that, he just knew.
Just trolled them.
Yeah.
Is that your chair back there, Shaheen? Is that like the chair you sit in to watch your TV? Oh,
yeah, probably.
I think it's his dog's chair at the moment.
Yeah, your dog's sleeping in it right now.
Oh, that chair? Yeah.
Yeah, is that like you're like when you come home from the work, it's like that's your chair? That's the chair?
No, that's the dog's chair. I never
chair. That's what you're saying.
You never sit in that chair?
No, that's the dog's chair.
Oh. That's a
I'm in the basement.
chair for a dog. Like, that's a lucky dog to have a big chair like that.
Yeah. Well, it's, they share it. I have another one over there for him.
Mm-hmm.
This is the man cave, so they just kind of chill down here.
Jason says as long as they don't go for the Mothman statue, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. See, like that I would have a problem with. It's like, what the fuck is your problem, dude? It's the Mothman. It's not even human. It's just, there's no hate there. It hates us all equally.
Nikhil Callahan. Should AEW be worried they can't beat NXT so-called third brand? I don't think they should worry about trying to beat NXT. They should just worry about putting on a good show. I also think that at this current world at the moment, we can't really go by a lot of the ratings and stuff because you don't have crowds or anything. It's a weird time to really gauge what's good or not. If this is what the future is, though, if this is always going to be shows like this, I guess you have to. But, number 2, did you like the WWE version of ECW? Nope.
No. The ECW zombie was amusing, and there were some amusing things on the show.
One Night Stand's great. No. One Night Stand's one of my favorite modern shows. But everything after that was awful. But like I said, of course there's a couple things that would be cool, but overall it was very bad. Oh, my life. I noticed that this LED light does not stay on very long.
Is it batteries or what?
Yeah, it takes a battery. I should get it when you just plug in there.
Oh, yeah. That's probably just...
Am I all right, though? Am I too dark?
No, you're good. That light's good, I guess. You can see you.
All right.
See, I think Shaheen's head's shinier than mine.
Yeah, it is at the moment.
It's pretty shiny. Yeah. I just got
to shave soon, man. I hate shaving, dude. I really do.
Yeah, it does suck. Like I shaved
those balding clippers. They're much easier, man.
I got this.
By the way, Jack, you got to send me. The scalping thing. You scalp yourself, basically. Yeah, that gimmick is nice.
Yeah.
Is that what you have?
Oh, you have like a straight razor.
Yeah, it's like one that you can change. I never shaved with this yet, but
I used to shave with those, man. It's good. It's good for the head. You'll cut yourself.
I want to know if I could do it on my head.
Yeah. You should be able to.
Hard to. Can you get the back?
Yeah. You just got to go against the hair. You know what I mean?
You go up like that. How do you hold it like that? You go like.
I don't know, dude. It's hard to explain. I just kind of hold it. However you're comfortable with, bro. I can't tell you.
I want to know your techniques. You got to tell me your techniques.
I don't usually shave with those, though. I shave with these. I forget.
I got a safety razor like this, but I use another one. It's.
I thought you had the new thing. I forget what it's called.
Oh man, there's a without your head mug. Man, you have every gift I've ever sent you.
See? You act like I'm an insensitive bastard, but I have everything.
Dude, it's all in front of them too, man.
I know,
it's just like your whole life is.
Yeah.
I'm a hoarder. I keep everything. I got one of these, but I don't use this one that much.
See, that's what I have. That's what I use.
Yeah.
Yeah, you change the top. It's easy. That's what I use. Those are really nice. I like those.
They sold these at Walmart is where I bought this one, but I have one upstairs that I use more.
Just to shave
with. Kick it like your granddad.
Those are nice.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what I use, and those are cheap to restock as far as the razors because they're like they're like 90.
Oh yeah, razors. You got some razors here.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't use the whole brush and the soap and all that. I use just shaving cream anymore because it's just there and easier.
I just use fucking soap, man. Whatever's around. Conditioner.
Like just straight up dial soap or the shaving soap.
No, just like hand soap, man. I'm rough and rugged with my head, dude.
Oh my gosh!
I treat it like shit. It gets used to it.
Don't do that, Shaheen. Be good to your head.
Dude, you're new to the bald game, man. I've been shaving for like 8 years. My head's used to it.
You got to be good to your head, Shaheen.
You ever think about shaving the eyebrows, Incher?
No, not doing that.
Oh, dude, you would be fucking insane looking if you shaved.
Oh, yeah. I don't want to be like
Didn't
fucking...
Bundy-
Speaking of a wrestling gimmick, dude, your outfit, if you came out as a ballerina with your fucking eyebrows shaved off, that would be the creepiest.
That would be pretty sweet, Incher.
I've noticed that there is a lash
King Kong ballerina
grows more.
Oh, dude, you got to do this.
Ballerina
I got to Photoshop you in one of this.
Nah, like there's like a longer it always grows out real long. This one hair, it bugs me.
What a random.
You should wear like fake eyelashes. Are you gonna shave the eyebrows?
Oh shit! Are you?
What is that? You have like an eyebrow like trimmer?
Oh, it's like a filer. Yeah, it like files his eyebrows. God damn, you're fancy, Incher.
Yeah.
I'm impressed. Damn, Jack, you got to start calling him a fancy bitch from now on.
I know. God, you're way more fancy than me. I'm all scruffy up.
He's goddamn, dude. Yeah, you're clean shaven, man.
I haven't shaved in quite a while.
Yeah, I need to shave. But dude, you gotta send me your PO box. I'll send you some of these fucking some of these gimmicks. You guys
okay, awesome. Yeah, that'd be sweet.
Give them away.
Oh, that's great.
How'd I do? Does it look good?
Yeah,
it looks great, right?
I'll even give you some of these signed ones. I got a bunch of signed.
Oh, awesome. Stan
Hansen.
That's rules.
Give you some random ones. Muda.
Oh, awesome.
Muda.
And Sting.
A man called Sting.
A lot of Stings.
Sting. He does this. He does that. Very cool.
I'll send you some T-shirts too, man. I got I made a bunch of T-shirts with like Road Warrior Animal and Jake.
Oh, really? Oh, I wear them on the show.
I'll send you a bunch of shirts to enter too. You guys can wear them if you want.
Cool.
Where can people find your stuff?
You can find it on chairshottees.com. So chairshottees.com. And yeah, that's about it. I'm bringing in Abdul the Butcher next month to
really?
ICW. So that's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
It's,
as soon as you say that, Hitcher pulls up a blade.
Yeah. It's called the Circus Death Match. It's like a death match tournament, and we're bringing Abdul the Butcher to it, and it's like a sleepover. So people are going to have tents, which is kind of nice because you can actually social distance. Yeah, it's going to be real sweet, dude. It's in the middle of the fucking fields. Like, it's going to be nice.
What the hell are you doing now, Insure? You going to start shaving
putting it up
or something? Oh.
Doing what?
I thought you were going to start shaving your pubes on camera. What the hell are you doing?
Piece of lint.
This is
that rules.
Abby.
Yeah, killing a clown.
Yeah.
They're going to have midgets and clowns and flamethrowers, all kinds of crazy shit up there. Good time.
Let's see. Will WWE shut down if more people are get tested positive for COVID-19 from Nikhil? I don't think so.
No, he's buddies with Trump. He's not going to get shut down. He'll call up old Don and be like, come on, people need a wrestling. And Don will be like, you're right.
He already said it was essential.
Yeah, it's essential.
Is there anyone in AEW that you don't like on the roster?
Anybody on AEW I don't like on the roster?
I would definitely not say to get rid of him or anything. I'm not a fan of Kenny Omega as a character.
I think you would be, though, if they presented him differently. I think.
No, doesn't he just present himself the way he wants to?
You don't think it's like funny, like when they were?
I think he's the opposite of funny.
What about like the big match where they had on the field and then they went
his matches? I have no problem with his matches. I just don't. Whenever he does a promo, I think it's god awful. Honestly, I'm not being, I honestly think he's one of the worst promos I've seen.
Really?
Like, there's technically worse talkers, but just what he says and stuff, I think he's awful.
Well,
like, I never find him funny in the least. I think he's more off-putting than like interesting.
I see.
I'm not a fan. I can't say his matches are bad by any. I would not say he's a bad wrestler. I don't get him, I guess. But I mean, I obviously I know he has a following, so I wouldn't say to get rid of him or anything. I'm not a Cole Cabana fan. I've never really been a big fan of his. But again, he's a good guy to have on the show because I know he does have a following.
Who's that guy with like the thing on his head? It's like Damien or something, or what's that?
Oh, yeah, I mean he's a real minor character, but yeah. I know you mean the Japanese guy.
He's kind of like
Luther.
nothing.
Luther,
that's his name.
Yeah.
Get rid of him. He does nothing for me.
I don't think the Big Swole's very good.
Big Swole, you're not a big fan of Big Swole?
No, I think she's a pretty bad wrestler.
Hmm.
But primarily, I like most of the people. There's probably some more if I think about it, but probably most of them are pretty obscure, minor characters, like the librarian or something. But I mean, it doesn't really matter. They're barely ever on the show. Do you think the Money in the Bank match has ran its course? I thought so for quite a while. Like the match itself is fine. Well, not this year's, but the match itself is. But I think having a guy carrying around the briefcase we've seen it. What else can you really do with it?
I don't know. People do kind of get into Otis having it. Kind of gives them something
just
excited
like Otis.
about it.
I think they'd like Otis regardless if he had a briefcase or not. I don't know. It's like how many times do we see it? Like a guy catches in the briefcase.
I don't think it's totally dead, but I mean,
I say it's dead.
I
declare death.
Fucking dead.
Okay.
I'm glad you see my side of this. Do you think there will be blood and guts? Do you think the blood and guts match eventually in AEW when crowds are back? It's kind of weird because they built it up so well, and I was really looking forward to it. Then it didn't happen. So
yeah,
I don't know if you just suddenly go back to it. Like, I guess they will eventually, but it'll be weird just to like all of a sudden they start talking about it.
Yeah, it's just strange. I don't know. It's just, I don't know. I'm wondering if it'll ever get back to normal.
Yeah, I don't know either. I don't know if we'll ever just see crowds again either.
This
so
crazy.
If not, you're going to start thinking of, how you do these shows.
The only time I could see it like being a thing is like if there is a vaccine that comes out.
Right.
So,
and that's probably like years away.
Who knows when,
And then the half the country won't even take it. They'll be like, this is, they're going to inject me with microchips from Bill Gates.
Yeah. Dude, isn't it amazing how many people will not just fucking wear masks? I was at the gas station. Out of the 5 people, 2 had it around their mouths. I mean, around their necks.
Uh-huh.
I do a lot.
I don't understand it at all. And it's just so simple. It's like this really simple thing that let's try to not spread this virus, wear this mask. Like, nope, it's tyranny.
I'm not familiar with any electronic component that can fit through a syringe. Like a small syringe that the doctors are using?
I never thought there'd be a day
I would have to see it.
There's always a small percentage of people who believe like just real insane stuff, but I don't think there's ever been a time when it's just been this many people believe like really just insane things.
Right.
I mean, part of it's maybe I'm on the internet and I didn't get to, but it seems like some of the people are like, idiots or something, but there's a lot of people who I would think are, I don't agree with them, like they're not like morons who believe some of the craziest things.
And why would they want a computer chip in somebody anyways?
I don't know.
They already got these fucking cell phones in everybody's pocket that that listens to your conversation.
Right.
And if you don't believe me, I mean, shit comes up on your Facebook feed that you have never searched for on the internet, but it comes up because it has heard a conversation about you talking about like.
It happens to me all the time. I'm not even against it because sometimes I've had things pop up on Facebook, like ads for things like, oh, this is cool. I actually like this. I'm going to go buy it. So I don't really mind it so much. I mean,
it worked.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they're spying on us already. So what do we care? I mean, whatever. If you're not doing anything,
it's so crazy. Like, they're putting microchips.
It's for advertisement. It's not like they're like trying to like, I don't know, ruin you or anything. They're like, any minute now, he's going to say Social Security number.
Yeah. And why would Bill Gates care about like all these random people? He's going to sit there and follow a billion people.
It is scary though to think that like you can be talking about whether DoorDash delivers something and it pops up on your Facebook page. It's like how they got like a machine.
There's times I
that?
think that I don't even have talked about it, and I have just thought it, and it'll come. I agree. It is strange.
Like I'll do like what's that song by It's Your Birthday? What's that? Is it
50 Cent?
50 Cent. Like I'll just like sing that sometimes in my car, and it popped up on my YouTube. Like I'll just
give us a live performance.
I've never like punched it in on YouTube or listened to it, but sometimes like when I'm just like it's kind of like that train of thought thing. You just catch yourself doing it, and you don't even realize that you're doing it. But I'll be like, don't. It's your birthday, and then I'll just be like driving in my car, and like I don't know the lyrics or anything past that part, but I'll do like the tune, and it's popped up on my YouTube feed, and it's like I've never punched it in on my YouTube feed. The only way it would think that I'm interested in that song is from listening to me in my car. So, it's your birthday.
I would love to see a performance on YouTube sometime.
I don't know the whole thing. I would have to look up the lyrics.
The lyrics exist, man. You can do a karaoke sing along.
Well, see me in the club, do something. It's your birthday. I don't know.
Yeah. It's amazing to me though, because a lot of the people that won't wear these masks claim to be like patriots.
Exactly. Yeah.
They're like, dude, I'll do anything for my country, and then say, well, dude, just wear a mask. Like, help a lot of people out, and we'll all live, and it's fine. No, it's too much to ask for.
Yeah. It's really making us look bad.
Fucking war. Just wear a fucking mask. We're not asking for too much, man.
Yeah, I agree. It makes us look bad. And, I know a lot of people in other countries through the show and our webmaster, and they think we're like, complete idiots.
People go into a grocery store to pick a fight with a poor grocery store attendant who's not making that much money. And they want to fight with them because they want to be an asshole that's in the grocery store without a mask.
Not only that poor little fucking 17-year-old kid has been fucking working a 12-hour shift.
And he's been working through a lot of, the last couple months would have been, especially when this started, no one really even knew how contagious it was or if masks would help or not, and they were working during those times. Right. Like, those are the people you should really be nice to.
Unless you're a mountain
He doesn't
man.
Own the friggin' grocery store. Even
unless you're a mountain man who hunts your own food and goes fishing and pulls fish out of the stream and everything, the grocery store provides your food. So why are you going there just to give them shit? Why can't you just wear a mask and be done with it? It's not that hard.
It was like a month ago. I was at the grocery store and I was at the convenience desk, whatever it is I don't know for what I was doing, but there was somebody in front of me. And she had bought, it was sprinkles that you put on, like cakes. And she was like, I thought these were buy one, get one free, but it was buy two, get one free. And I don't need 3. And the guy's like, well, we can't take returns now because, COVID. Mm-hmm. But I'll just give it to you for the buy one, get one free. And she's like, well, I don't want 2. I just want 1. And he's like, well, I just can't. And so he's like, well, I'll just give it. He was saying I was going to give it the other one for free. And she was just pissed and ended up leaving that there and stormed out of the place because he wouldn't. I don't even know what the hell she wanted. She wanted him to return this. And he was going to give it to her for free. He just physically, they can't take returns because they can't take merchandise right now that someone bought and then brought it back and resell it. But he's still giving it to her for free. And she was mad about it.
She just wanted to be outraged. That's what she wanted.
Yeah, it was insane. I could, it'd be one thing if he just said, no, you're out of luck. You can't get, it was like $1.99 thing of sprinkles.
And most countries,
it for free. And just
most countries has this under control, but we can't get it together.
Dude, almost every country has it. Dude, Texas and Florida are popping out with 10,000 new cases a fucking day. Like, Canada doesn't even have like 10,000 cases in the whole fucking country, man.
Yeah, Japan has it under control. And
Italy and Iran both were fucking dying. Like, half the country was dying. They're fine now.
Mm-hmm.
This is it's
crazy. Really shows you though, man, like how fucking entitled and selfish we are as people. We if you pay attention to Asia, like Japanese and Chinese people have been wearing masks for decades. Even when they're sick, they just wear it out of just.
If you get a cold, you put a mask on so you don't give it to someone else.
Right.
Yeah.
This is common sense. Over here, what are you trying to chip me? Like, no, dude, just wear a fucking mask. No one's trying to. Why do you think you're interesting enough that somebody wants to invest money in chipping you?
And
to
then-
hear what?
and then-
You argue with your fucking wife? Who gives a shit?
And I see all this too about, you wear a mask, you're like going to kill your immune system and you're going to die because you. And I'm like, so the whole medical field just dropping dead all the time.
Are they all
Yeah.
fucking stupid people?
And I'm totally in favor of anybody like distancing themselves whenever you're sick, because why do you want to like go around and give people these germs?
I do that anyway. Like
I do that myself. Yeah,
Right.
I try to stay away from people when I'm sick.
Right.
I sit my ass in my room. I play my video games. All right, I remember one time I was watching a bunch of New Japan just because I was sick and I had nothing else to do. So do that. You know?
Yeah. There's even signs places here like that says, if you're sick, do not enter. And I'm like, why does that even have to be a sign? Like, when you should, like, if I'm sick, I probably shouldn't go into these public buildings.
You got to tell people, though. I mean, gosh, it just really makes me sad.
Yeah. Have you seen those compilations of like fucking middle-aged ladies?
You talking about the mask thing, or are you talking about? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, the mask thing. Like, there's just a compilation of like 15, 20 clips of middle-aged ladies going to grocery stores and just clicking on like the cashier. Like, dude, what? Are you serious right now? Like, come on.
Yeah, even if for some reason this is your theory that you don't want to, like, the cashier doesn't own the building and make the
they just work there.
Yeah.
Right, dude. They're just as miserable as you, if not worse, man.
Yeah, because they're there all day.
They're just trying to make a buck.
They're wearing their mask for 8 hours
for fucking $10 an hour.
Yeah,
they're killing themselves.
All these people coming in with them,
Only to deal with your
wear
ass
it for 5 minutes when you go in and buy a pack of cigarettes or some bubble gum or something. Let's see. That seems weird to go back to the questions. Do you ever see U.S. Network or Fox canceling WWE programs if ratings keep going down? I mean, people always say no, but I mean, anything's been canceled. Some of the biggest shows of all time have been canceled. So it's possible.
Well, it's possible, yeah.
Probably Fox more so than USA, I would think.
Outside of like what's getting big ratings right now? The news, is that about it?
I really don't know. I don't follow the ratings. But
like,
the theory is that with the live wrestling was, like live sports, where it was DVR like proof, because people tend to, if you watch a live sport, you don't want to watch it after it's happened because you know who wins. So they thought that was true with wrestling, and from what I understand, it's not been proven.
Yeah, which
I don't know about being canceled so much, but I do think the odds of getting like $1 billion deal again is probably rare. I would think when they have to renegotiate, it would probably be less. But I think ratings just in everything are down. It's not just wrestling. Just less people watch live television because lots of reasons. They DVR stuff. A lot of people don't have cable anymore. They just watch internet or streaming sites.
But a lot of the stuff we are watching was probably recorded a year or so ago. Like mainstream programs like Law and Order or whatever.
All this stuff is like so readily available. Why do you need to watch it?
Are they going to be able to produce new stuff though?
Oh, no, that's a big thing because I do Without Your Head and talk to a lot of. I saw that they're trying to pass like I don't know if a law is the right thing, but where they would let like A list movie stars like they won't need to wear masks and stuff, so they can film like movies and stuff. It's like, what? But I mean, I know a lot of people, and it's a big debate on the independent scene on all movies. But for me, I know a lot of independent workers about the idea of safe filming. Is that even possible? Because like I'll see people, and so the crew will have masks, but the performers won't, because you can't just film a movie and everyone's wearing a mask unless that's part of the story. So it's like, is that really safe? Like the 4 actors or even 2 actors aren't masked, but yet the cameraman and the director is? Is that any different than at a convenience store where 2 people have masks and 2 people don't?
Well, I guess if they're tested before the scene, then know if they have.
Yeah, on an independent level, that's not it's just not going to be like possible.
Yeah,
because there's a lot of guidelines, and people who aren't with SAG, like they won't have to, but like the SAG thing is like, it really is going to make it hard for an independent film or anything to be made, because like they have to quarantine them for 2 weeks before they start production, and they got to pay them during that, and then like test everyone like every day, and like it's just going to be impossible unless you're like making the Avengers, or unless you're making $1 million movies to be able to do anything like that.
Yeah.
But even something big like the Avengers, they said it's going to be really hard to make, because those have like production, like a production team of like 100 people on set, and you're just not going to be able to do that right
now. Yeah, you got to have somebody for the lighting and somebody do this,
Right. No, those movies just, and like, and like 100 extras, for they're in New York City and that kind of, like, you're just not going to be able to do that. But I do know a lot of people who are still making movies right now, and it's questionable if that's safe. And there's also a rise in, which is actually, there's a lot of creativity out there. People making stuff remotely, where like they'll film their own parts and then they'll put it together. And I've seen some of that work. Some of it not so much, but I've seen some of it work pretty well.
Maybe if you went back to like the old school way of like building sets and stuff, like like
keep but again, like on the independent level, it's just not they just won't have the money to do it.
No, it would be too much. But geez. So that all our entertainment's going to dry up eventually if nobody can produce anything.
I have 2 movies that were shot, but we still need some pickup shots for the first one, and the second one we need some other stuff, but we just can't film it right now.
Jack, can I ask you a random horror question?
Mm-hmm.
Have you heard of Saint Maud? It's an A24 movie coming out.
I haven't seen it, but it was actually it was gonna premiere at Boston Underground Film Festival this year, and I was actually really looking forward to it, because then that was the film festival that Umbilicus played a lot, but it was gonna play there this year. But I didn't see it because it was right around the time when they canceled it like a week before the event, because it was right when COVID was happening. But I haven't seen the movie.
What are their plans for movies? Are they just gonna sit on them for a while?
Yeah, so many of them have been postponed till next summer.
Jesus.
And then some of the stuff that did have theatrical release were put on video on demand, and some of them because we just Tristan and I did interviews for Followed, which is a really good movie, and it was originally to be at theaters, and instead it opened at drive-ins, and it was the #1 movie that week, which was pretty cool. But it's just a weird thing. I don't know.
Yeah, A24 hasn't updated their website since COVID hit, so I don't think they have any plans on releasing anything until.
Yeah, probably not. Because I don't know. They even just the physical copies, I understand, is hard, because then people have to handle them and send them out.
Right.
Yeah, we did an interview earlier today, Tristan and I, for Homewrecker, and that was going to have a theatrical run, but because of everything that happened, it's just going right to video on demand.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, video on demand on the independent level was, a big thing anyway to begin with, but it's still nice to have, a theatrical run if possible.
Yeah.
Let's see. Where was I? What mobile? These are all. He asked Tequila asked 10 questions. What mobile phone do Jack, OAB, and whoever else is on Zoom have? I have a Samsung Galaxy. I'm not sure the number or whatever.
This is S10. Yeah.
iPhone X, whatever. I don't know.
Oh, not S10, S9. Sorry. That's
or
what mine is.
Do you have an iPhone, intro?
No, Samsung S9 Galaxy.
Yeah.
Is Baron Corbin good or still the pits? I haven't seen him because I don't watch the show. So
he's still about the same. So bad, I guess.
I'm not a fan. Anastasio Theodosiadis just adds "fuck you." Yeah.
Can we talk about him for 2 seconds?
Sure.
This guy, I'm sorry, I've blocked and deleted this dude from my profile many times just because he legitimately creeps me out. He's the one guy that I'm like.
Yeah, I think there's seriously something wrong with him. He's legit gone crazy.
Because I thought it was a gimmick at first, and then some of the shit he says, I'm like, I don't
Yeah, he's the only guy I've edited out of the video shows because he just went off on Jewish people. And I was like, I don't want it on the show. I mean,
man, not even that. Last week was talking like kids and shit. It's like, oh, dude, like,
that's
it's a weird thing.
And I'm really not like a prude when it comes to comedy, but I don't even think it was comedy. It was just.
Exactly. It's not, there's like no joke. There's no punchline.
Right? Yeah.
It's weird. This is not even like there's no punchline. You know.
Dobbs, can Incher show us his pistol? Not the one that attaches to an NES, the one he uses to kill people.
I don't use any pistol to kill people. Not impressive. It's just it's a burst. It's basically James Bond's gun, but it's a ripoff of it. It's a burst. What is it? Thunder
from Down Under.
I forgot what the name of it is.
I love how you're trying to like not impress people. You're like, that's just a regular James Bond gun, you know. Just
no, it's a cheap gun. It's a ripoff.
Piece of shit. James Bond
PPK. No, it's a ripoff of it. It was only like $250 or something like that. So
I have an M60 over here.
Yeah, pull it out.
I do actually, but it's fake. It's like a toy gun from when I was a kid.
I've never wanted one, but now I'm thinking about getting one, man. I'm scared for November.
I mean, if you really want to see it, well, I don't want people. I mean, like the serial number on it. Could they do anything with that?
Just block off the serial number.
I mean, if they really want to see it, I can get it out.
I mean, it's a gun. I mean, it's very legal. It's not a big deal.
I mean,
I don't know why anyone would want to see it though. It's not like you have like I
can get it out if you want.
You can just. I mean, you can just go.
I think doesn't Crowder just have a gun all the time on his desk?
Yeah, I think he does. Hang on, gotta take these off.
No, I don't watch it, but I mean,
I think I know why they want it though.
I didn't even know who he was until I started seeing all the memes pop up about. Changed my mind. I was like, who the hell is this guy? And then then I saw it was sometime on YouTube. That pops up on my YouTube sometimes. And I don't watch this stuff. It'll say recommended stuff. It'll be like the Proud Boys or Crowder. I'm like, why is they suggesting this to me?
Right.
I don't care if people watch it. I just thought it was strange.
That's my gun. I'll see if I can remember how to use it. Yeah, that's the magazine.
Make sure you don't have one in the head, dude.
No, I never rack it. I always keep it empty.
Yeah, why do they want you to pull out your gun? Is it just to take a picture of it or take a screenshot? Photoshop it later?
Al Wu's going to have a field day with this.
That's the decocker. I think you got to pull it back.
Have you been decocked?
No, I have not been decocked. I forgot how to use my gun.
I would be shot at this moment if I was.
I forgot how to use it.
Don't blow your brains out or something. Or
it's not racked. If you don't have one in the chamber, you're all right.
This shows you the problem with guns in America right now.
There's not one in the chamber. I know. There's not
how to use it. Let me show this thing.
Look, Shaheen. I know it's not going to go off. Look, see, I know because there's not one in the chamber. Yeah, just. But I know it's not going to go off because you got to rack it. You got to pull this. You got to pull your slide back to put one in the chamber. I know there's not one in the chamber. Dude,
go on YouTube and fucking type in a tutorial before you blast your brains out, man.
I know what I'm doing. I couldn't figure out how to get it to do where the hammer would just.
Yeah, the thingy. I know.
It's because I had the safety on at the time. There's nothing in the chamber. You're fine. The safety's off in this position. You can't put it on. To decock it though, you can take this and go like that, and that decocks it without hitting the actual, part that hits the bullet.
It's just made my night, dude. You're fucking fantastic.
What?
I love you, man.
Just a gun?
You're the man. No, just the fact that you said you forgot how to use it. I forgot how to use this thing. What do you do with this?
Well, I did. It's been a while since I've had it out. I forgot, But this is how your magazine comes out. You push the button on the side.
You forgot how to take it out.
Oh, that's it. I can take it apart too, if you want me to.
Oh man,
I forget how to do that.
Dude, you should do that on YouTube. Give us fucking gun tutorials on YouTube.
Taking it apart.
Yeah,
I think you pull this down. It's been a while since I had it apart because I haven't cleaned it in a long time.
Do some target shooting. Show us how to clean it.
But basically, this is like a ripoff of James Bond's gun, the Walther PPK, but it's two-tone, so it's and it's a cheap gun. This is a cheap gun. It's only like $350 or $250 or I think I gave $250 for it, so it's bought it at a pawn shop. I wanted the real thing.
$2.50.
No, $250. I bought it at a pawn shop, and I thought they were going to give me like a waiting time, like you got this much time until you can get it. But the guy's like, here's your gun.
Yeah, that's so crazy. The fact that like you have to go through fucking a million loops to get weed legally, and then you can just walk into Walmart and just walk out with like an assault rifle.
Well, I don't think you're supposed to sell a handgun with without a waiting period. I thought, but the dude just gave me the gun at his pawn shop.
Yeah, rifles and shotguns, dude. You can walk right out with that. You just go.
Well, yeah, rifle. Yeah, you can just buy automatically.
All you need. Yeah. You're crazy, you know.
They do a background check on you, though. They go through and make sure try to make sure you're not insane, but it's a little, it's a little crazy.
People even fight that.
Yeah.
Dobbs Dean Meyer.
That's my gun. There you go, everybody. If you want to see my gun, I got a holster for it somewhere.
This is my rifle. This is my gun.
Yeah.
Is that the only one you have?
That's my only gun, yeah. I don't have any other guns. I used to have a shotgun, but...
Didn't you used to have an AK-47? You have a picture?
No, that was Cooter's at the time.
Oh, okay.
I don't think he even has that anymore. I'm trying to find... I had a holster for it somewhere.
Man, you ever go to the range? Little poops I sent you and all this stuff like right at hand, but you don't know where your gun holster is.
I seen it the other day. I don't know where it's at.
That's all right. We don't need it.
Andrew, you really defeat the purpose of having a gun, man.
Why's that?
Like somebody came in the house to kill you by the time like
you like, hold on, I gotta go to YouTube and
I know how to shoot it. Shooting's the easy part.
Wait, hold on, I gotta find my holster. How do you take this fucking thing out? Where's the magazine?
No, I keep it in my safe. I went over and opened my safe. I don't have it sitting out or whatnot. I'm very responsible with my gun, as you can see how I'm holding it.
You just forget how to use it.
No, I forgot because you got to have the clip in for the hammer to come back and stay back is what I was trying to do. I was trying to show you that it's like a single action where you just barely pull the trigger and it makes the hammer clip. But I forgot how that does that because I had the safety on. But I'm remembering now.
All right,
that's good. Well, it's good that we're going over this together.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, just don't be scared of guns, Shaheen. Go get you one.
No, that's that's the goal. After all these people started showing up with guns after fucking their haircuts, I was like, oh shit.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, go get you one. You need one. Everybody needs one in their house.
I kind of agree. I wish nobody had any, but now it's to the point where I'm like, fuck.
That's too
late. You just got to get one now. It's just too late.
That bell's done been
many
wrong.
Out there.
You're not going to be able to get everybody to give up their gun.
Right. Yeah, it's just too late now. You just got to join them.
Get you one and keep yourself safe.
Yeah, just call it
That's how I feel anyways.
Because now I'm like, dude, the cops aren't coming to protect me, man. I can tell you that. Like, they're not protecting me. And there's many crazy people out here. Like,
if somebody's going to break into your house, I mean, for a cop to get there and save you is pretty unlikely. Oh, yeah, I'm forgetting the bullet. Wait a minute. That doesn't look good on me, does it?
No.
See, then you just...
Andrew, you could totally be a cop, dude.
Oh, that sounds like fun. Nowadays. I want to be hated. I'm not going to have any problem with anybody being a cop nowadays. Yeah, see,
you got just as much training, man. You got it down.
Oh, come on now.
Come
on now.
Dude.
Some of them
throwing a vest. You're all set, buddy.
I don't have no vest.
Dobbs wants to know if is Trista on the show. No, she's not on the show.
Let me put it up, okay?
But she might be calling in, zooming in one of these weeks because she's a wrestling fan as well. Al Oob, what is Intra's favorite LCD game? What's LCD?
He's not even listening.
See his ass at the moment.
What is he doing over there? There you go, buddy. You got it in the safe.
Right. Versa Thunder 380. I just remembered. I didn't even look. But
is that the game?
No, 380. That's the caliber.
Oh,
yeah.
What's your favorite LCD game?
It's basically a 9mm, but like shorter, from what I understand. What's my what?
Favorite LCD game?
Oh, like the old school Tiger games.
I don't know what LCD is. I know what LSD is.
I'll show you. This is probably my favorite because it's probably the only one that I have right now. Okay, I'll show you one that's it's not a great game, which none of those were great games back in the days. But I got one that I just bought recently, and I got one that's like, a collector's thing to me. Wait a minute. Let me get up again. I got to take my headphones off.
It's like a show and tell.
Oh, tough guy. So, yeah. Show and tell in inches. Around his room.
He keeps bending over, reaching for shit.
I think Al just wants to see Incher's ass.
I think he's just giving him reasons to bend over. Oh, yeah. Oh, shit.
Got to get the dust off of it. All right. Of course, everybody would know I do have this. This is Simon's Quest.
Oh, Tiger. I see what else. That's like one of those handheld icy.
Yeah, is that what he's talking about?
I don't know. I didn't know what it meant. You're the
I like
game
that
guy.
game, but it's not like a great game. But if you want to be entertained for hours, buddy, you need to get a hold of this. The greatest game ever.
Oh, man.
Hulk Hogan, WCW.
How much is that worth?
It's worth like $2, maybe.
See, I don't understand that. Why is WCW stuff worth nothing?
I don't know if even a WWF one of these would be worth anything. But, yeah, these... Some people collect these. I don't necessarily do. I just seen it at the flea market, and the guy was like, I think he said like 50 cents or something like that. And I was like, oh, okay, whatever. I just thought it'd be amusing to have Hulk Hogan, WCW.
It works. Brother. You ever think about getting Hulkster to sign it?
Sure. Let's see.
Tyler wants to know, who do you guys play as I'm not sure. I think he means, who do you guys play in wrestling video games?
Always, Triple H was always one of the best ones back in the day when I was playing, when I was, late 90s.
Mm-hmm.
He was always good.
I'd play whoever my favorites were, not necessarily who the best were.
Yeah, they always had Triple H. He was always kind of
You're just a big Triple H mark.
I guess. Well, in video games, he was the man. His stats was always way high. So,
Anastasio Theodosiadius wants to know, cancel Lexar. No, I like Lexar. Brian Matthew Clutter, when will former NWA champion Abraham Lincoln return to the show? That'd be something maybe we could do on video. Because it was such a big hit the last time we did it.
Yeah, I like it.
You didn't even know what the fuck the question was.
Abraham Lincoln come back to the show.
Al, what is drier, an Englishman's humor or a grandmother's pussy?
Goodness gracious.
Very blue question. I like a dry sense of humor. Jonathan Jackson, would you take a dick flip from Joey Ryan if he paid you?
This looks fun. All the kids are playing it nowadays. Nah, I guess not.
Do you ever play those anymore? On your spare time?
Not really, no. It's just I collect, oh shit, I dropped.
Is it one of those things where
I'm a Castlevania collector for one. I like Castlevania stuff. This one I just bought just because I thought it was funny, and it was cheap. So
have you just been spoiled with technology now, so you can't like kind of go back and play with?
Kind of go back and
because he plays all the old games.
Yeah,
that's all he plays.
You didn't see me with. I do play new stuff too, but like
I see on your YouTube you play some of them, but I just figured it's more for YouTube. I didn't think you actually played them.
Here you go. There's the Genesis 3. Kind of dusty. It's got Dynamite Heady in there.
How do you even hook that shit up to a TV nowadays, dude?
I got an old TV over here.
Oh,
so you couldn't play that like on a
Yeah, you can.
You can.
They make cables where you can play stuff, but like there's an AV port like right here, like right there's the AV port. You just if your TV's got AV cables, it'll play.
I think mine's only got HDMI now.
Really?
Yeah, I got 5 TVs in my house. Every single one.
Do you have a phone? Do you have like a headphone? Oh, like you can't do that. Do you have a headphone jack that looks like it's around your video connections? Because sometimes they make like a connector that,
maybe
like, that goes into your. Like I got one here.
I don't care because I'm not playing. I was just curious.
Yeah, I mean, I'm never gonna play it. I'm just
like, this is like a shared component.
I know what those are. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you just plug it. Like my TV has this. It's like this connector that you plug in, and you plug in the blue lead, the red lead, and then the green lead goes into the yellow part. But it's because it's shared, and it's red, blue, green. But yeah, does your TV have plugs like that around the video connectors, like the HDMIs?
I'm not sure. Why can't they just keep the colors the same? That's always annoyed me. You know how it used to just be red, yellow, and white, and then they changed it to like fucking the rainbow, and then
just to differentiate between the connectors that you have. Like HDMI carries video and audio. So
gotcha.
I know you're probably finding this as entertaining as your coffee discussion earlier there, Jack. All right, go ahead.
I'm sure it's interesting for a couple people.
Couple people.
Dobbs, ain't no telling. What does that even mean? Is that a Southern thing?
That's just the Carol thing. He just says, ain't no telling.
It's ain't no telling. Al-Ub, should Tazo convert to Islam and call himself Tazo the Sheik? Well, they call him the Sheik. Fastest thing on 2 feet. Marty Van Buren. That was a streak, actually. Would you rather be trapped on a deserted tropical island with Vince Russo or Bruce Pritchard? Honestly, I think probably Vince Russo. I think
I think Vince Russo is more charismatic than Bruce Pritchard.
No, I mean I don't like Vince Russo's writing like in wrestling, but I actually think he's entertaining. He seems like a nice guy. I think I'd much rather hang out with Vince Russo than Bruce Pritchard.
Not only that, you'd also have Christ on your side, which
that's very true.
Could help.
I don't think I could take being around Bruce Pritchard for long.
Dude, wrestling stories all fucking day. Oh, brother, back in 1985, I was with Vince McMahon.
He'd just be kissing Vince McMahon's ass, like hoping that he'd come and save him from the tropical island.
Yeah. Like, dude, I'm about to die. I don't give a fuck about WWF from '89. Get out of here.
Tell how great Red Rooster was. Just Terry Taylor didn't give it his all.
Trying to put himself over on a goddamn island. It's like, dude, it's just you and I. Come on.
Al-Ub, who beats G.I. Joe? What?
What's better than G.I. Joe? Or
no one beats G.I. Joe. It's an old commercial.
Oh.
Dobbs,
was that because they were making knockoff G.I. Joes and they wanted to say nobody beats G.I. Joe? Maybe.
What was your favorite? That was one of my favorite toy lines as a kid. That and the He-Man.
Shipwreck.
By the way, I had to buy him. I saw the new He-Man Masters of the WWE Universe figures yesterday.
Oh yeah, those do look neat.
I had to buy them. They didn't have too many. They had Faker, Cena, and just one of each guy. Faker, Cena, the Demon, Balor, and Triple H is like the when he's got the skull mask.
Oh yeah,
and they had the Castle Grayskull ring. And I try not to buy wrestling toys anymore because I have so many and they take up so much room. I was actually going to try to sell some, But I was like, I have to get these. I was a big He-Man fan. If I would have been when I was a kid, if they would have had wrestling He-Man figures, I would have been in heaven. But I had to buy them. Then I realized there's like 12 of them. So now I have to try to find the other ones. I tried to find, because I was at Walmart, because I was picking up a new bookcase. And so I looked on Walmart.com, and they were like $40 on the website, and they're $10 in the store, which I didn't quite understand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is strange how there's like so much of a price differential between online and just in store. Yeah.
If Jackie Jones from 2010 time traveled to 2020, what hurtful things would he say to Jackie Woke?
Like your old self. That's kind of like the question earlier. Wasn't it?
Do you think the old Jack intro? Because you knew him, you knew me. Do you think he would like the current Jack, or do you think he would pick on him?
I think you would probably try to feel the new Jack out a little bit, and then I think
feel
eventually
me out, not feel me up.
Yeah, I don't think he wants to have sex with you. I think, and then he would probably start cracking some jokes. I would say eventually.
Would the Jack, the original Jack, would he be disappointed in Jack of today?
No, I don't think so. I think he would be proud of you for a lot of things that you've done. Yeah.
Thank you, man. Alum, could Intra beat Paige at Mario Kart?
Could I be? I haven't watched her play. I'll just say, I'll admit to everyone out there right now, I'm just not very good at Mario Kart.
Really? That was actually one of my favorite games, Mario Kart.
I like it. I
used to play all the time with my mom, and she would get mad because I would knock her off the Rainbow Bridge.
I just will not brag about my Mario Kart skills, but that's cool you played it with your mom. My parents won't have anything to do with it.
Yeah, she loved Mario Kart.
I just bought a Switch, and I like it, man, but I can't keep up with games. I bought it and I played it like for one day, and
What are you playing?
For 3 months.
What do you play?
I got Donkey Kong, I got Yoshi, I got Mario Kart, Super Smash Brothers, but 3 of them are unwrapped. I mean, I just literally bought them and never played them. I played the Yoshi one.
Oh, I haven't played that game.
That was it.
Do you like Donkey Kong Country for the Super?
I got the Freeze one, I think.
Yeah, that's the current one. I'm just saying, have you ever played the one for the Super NES?
Oh, yeah.
It's very similar to that, so you would probably really like that. So,
yeah, from the trailer things I saw, it looked like.
Mario Kart's good. You would be able to pick that up pretty easy, I would say.
Yeah.
Paige is playing it. You could challenge her.
Do you play that? Is that
I play it a little bit, but it's been a while since I played it. We've recently been playing Streets of Rage 4. That's pretty cool.
I've never really been big on games, but Nintendo is the only one that I ever enjoyed, really.
This is really strange. Since we started doing the show, who did we talk about earlier, Ernest? This popped up on my phone at 9:59, so it was probably right when we were talking about him. It's a YouTube video telling me I got a notice that Jim Cornette talks about Jim Varney.
What?
Isn't that weird?
Cornette's talking about Ernest too?
Yeah. And it popped up on my phone as telling me to watch this on YouTube.
Well, I'm glad that
we were talking about him.
I'm glad we captured that on the show, though, because people would be saying, "Oh, they're just copying Cornette,"
Yeah,
didn't know he was talking about it. Yeah, that is weird. Was it from years ago?
I don't know. I can click on it.
Like, was it an old show he talked about Ernest?
I'm gonna click on it now and see. How do you tell how old this is? It's got 13,000 views. We need to talk about Ernest more, apparently.
Yeah, really.
I'm not sure when it was posted. Oh, but weird anyway. It popped up.
Yeah.
Brian Clutter, what did you do to celebrate the 24th anniversary of the formation of the NWO? I took the day off work and stared at this artwork hanging on my wall all day long.
What day was that?
What? Oh,
I
dropped the leg on Incher.
Yeah, that hurt.
People always used to make fun of the leg drop, but do you think that would hurt? So this, like 300-pound dude just dropped his leg on you?
It probably would hurt if they didn't, work it.
Mm-hmm. Owl, what would you rather do for the rest of your life? Worship Satan every weekend or take it up the butt twice a month?
Goodness gracious. What's wrong with that young man?
I mean, if you're gay, there's nothing wrong with that. Or if you're not gay, people can enjoy that. I'll say Satan worshiping is Satanists actually don't even believe in Satan, but whatever. Jason Minton, how do you define a WV?
West Virginia, it's almost heaven.
I think he means the WV, but we'll stick.
What? Huh? What?
I define it as pooping in your pants. My original definition was doing it not on purpose, but just because you didn't want to get up. So it's it was actually avoidable, but you were just I don't, I'm too busy, doing in your head or playing a video game. But that definition changed.
Mm-hmm.
It was just poop in your pants. Well, how it came up because multiple people from West Virginia brought up to me pooping their pants all at the same time, and then I just assumed it was just a thing people did in West Virginia.
Let me get my gun. No, I'll figure out how to use it and pop a cap in your ass.
Jason Minton, who's your all-time favorite midget? Lord Littlebrook was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I did like the guy who was the Psycho Dwarf.
Yeah, he was pretty cool. He was cool.
But talent-wise, is probably one of the Mexican ones.
I do like
Hornswoggle. Hornswoggle. Honestly, I do think he's all-around talented guy because he's also a good character.
Yeah.
Probably the best all-around, I would say.
Came on the show. Good dude.
Dude, I don't know, man. I met Hornswoggle one time and he was fucking miserable.
Oh, really? I met him in Chicago and he was nice. It was right after we had him on the show.
He was at a deathmatch show, though. He was at a deathmatch show where he took a bump in the barbed wire from Zandig, and this was right after he got released from WWE.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming he was probably very depressed.
Yeah, it's possible.
Man.
Yeah. Do you prefer a woman's vagina steamed or unsteamed? This is from Al Rule.
And
he posts a link, vaginal steaming sessions. They're $21 and a quarter on sale.
Oh, fuck. Is that on Wish?
It looks like a Wish.
Well, ask Owl for the information. I'm sure he can provide you with it there.
Yeah, I'm all set on that. I'm all set on baked and deep fried vagina, dude.
It's deep fried? Oh my goodness.
Steamed, whatever the fuck it was.
Tazo says
it's probably one thing that isn't good deep fried. Say what?
Tazo says we should start to worship the Lord.
Oh. Okay.
Owl, we all know Jack believes sex work is real. But how does Incher feel about Daphne becoming a cam girl? I don't know. Is she? I know she is an OnlyFans site, but not everyone on OnlyFans does that.
It's
honestly.
just maybe some scantily clad photos, but not.
They just have not even nude photos, just they're posing and stuff. I have no idea. She might be. I just.
Yeah.
Vic Schiavone, do you think Eric of the Viking Raiders would have gone through with the awful cinematic match at the last pay-per-view if his wife wasn't having a baby? He seemed to have a good time.
He seemed to have fun.
I think a lot of the current wrestlers enjoy these things.
I think, they think they see Matt Hardy and they're like, well, maybe we'll hit another note like that,
Vince Rudo, do you think this correctly depicts the IWC's favorite wrestlers? Also, what would you call bootleg wrestling twin? So it's a picture of IW's. Interesting, because this is from the 90s, I think. And it was like a set of, bootleg wrestling figures they probably sold at, not dollar store, but something like that. And so it's a fake Macho Man, a fake Rick Steiner, a fake Lex Luger, a fake Razor Ramon, which looks quite a bit like him, and a fake Diesel, which also looks like him. But what's fun? Oh, it was at $5. It was at a Dollar General for $5. Maybe it's new. I don't know. $5 General, because I think Dollar General is fairly new.
Oh yeah, I've seen those. That was kind of neat photo to see the ripoffs or whatever.
Yeah, and what's funny is it was called the IWC. I wonder whoever made these knew what IWC stood for. If it was just a weird coincidence. Kind of cool. When I was a kid, I would buy those fake wrestling figures because there were some wrestling figures, but they were very unplayable. For the most part, they're just big rubber guys and stuff. Jason Minton, does Jackie Jones miss watching WWE Weekly? No, not at all. I like having multiple hours to do other things. It's honestly, mean this completely sincere. I do not miss watching it whatsoever. It's kind of like when I stopped watching Impact. I never thought man, I miss watching that. I like having at least 5 more hours a week to do something else. It wasn't bringing me entertainment. So, do you miss me?
Do you
not
think
watching
you can go back?
The show? I don't know, honestly. I mean, I thought when I stopped watching, once they had crowds, I'd go back. But I think why do I want to? I haven't enjoyed it in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I would enjoy bits of things, but overall show, I enjoyed in quite a while.
Is there still that part of you that would think I missed it when it actually happened?
Honestly, I mean.
Say Punk's pipe bomb promo.
There's things I really like, but it's been so long, and even during that period, there would be I would like that, and then it would go nowhere, and it was really the building point of you'd get set up to want to get into something, and then it would go nowhere or it would stop.
Yeah,
and I think constantly doing that really took away not only your love of just watching it, but you didn't want to get into anything because it would be pointless because it would just end. It used to be back in the day, Mick Foley or something, Stone Cold, something like that. I'd really get into them. I liked both those guys before they were in WWE, but you'd get into them and it would be fun because you would watch these people rise all the way to the top. And as opposed to now, you'd see a guy who'd start to get over. You want to get behind him and follow him, that evolution, and then they just go nowhere like a Rusev. The only people that really get the push are the people that they were doing it anyway, and a lot of those people were people I didn't want to watch, like Baron Corbin.
Yeah.
So it's hard to get into. It took away what was fun about watching wrestling to begin with. I always think that was why Jeff Hardy got such a huge pop, because when he finally became champ, was people who watch a show watched him from a jobber to a tag team guy to a main event or not a main event, but a established tag team. Probably at the height of tag teams in WWE anyway. To Intercontinental guy, and then eventually all the way to the World Championship. So you actually saw him progress throughout the years, and it's hard not to get into that.
Mm-hmm.
I think they missed the boat on that a lot. The guys rising.
Yeah.
Now it's kind of like they debut at the level that they're going to be at. You debut a top guy.
That's true too.
Yeah, and then you just don't go anywhere. That's what, when they gave the big push to the Indian guy, Jinder Mahal.
Mm-hmm.
I think at the end of his run, he actually was pretty decent. But and actually came into his own as a character and stuff. But they just pushed him out of the blue so you didn't even see a build. He just was champ suddenly.
Yeah.
If they would have done that slower, by the time he actually got the run for the title, he would have been the character he was at the end, and I think it would have possibly would work.
I would have had to have fans behind him too. Like some fans would be into what he was doing.
Yeah,
not just this
it was
is
just
it.
Weird. He's just
this
all
is
of a
what
sudden,
you're gonna like.
you've been conditioned to not take him seriously at all, and now all of a sudden he's supposedly this top guy. Mitten says Jason Incher is not amused. Are you not amused, Incher? Are you not entertained?
I'm just a little hungry and I'm tired.
All right, we'll try to finish this up. I'm hungry myself. I have some beef and broccoli upstairs.
I'm thinking about a snack right now.
Vince Rudo, if you could cancel one wrestler, who would it be?
Cancel one wrestler.
Joey Ryan, but he's already canceled.
I'll agree with that. Never liked the gimmick anyway, and he's a rotten person. I wouldn't want to cancel someone who I just don't like as a wrestler. That's not right. But if he's a rotten person, let's do it. Jason Minton, what do you want for Christmas?
What do I want for Christmas?
I would like some stuff to put on this beautiful bookcase, and I'm going to be adding another one. So maybe like some cool horror movie bust, something like that.
That would be cool. Yeah.
I'm rubbing Frankenstein's on. Vince.
Rub good.
Vince Rudo, if you could... Oh, we already did that one. Did you have anything you want for Christmas, Incher? Bullets?
Bullets?
Like
a shoulder harness?
Yeah.
Nah.
Bulletproof vest?
Bulletproof vest would be nice. Yeah.
Right gear?
Bulletproof vest. That'd be good.
It's better than the double-ended dildo.
Yeah, probably.
You could compare them. That could be the next video. Which is better, bulletproof vest or the double-ended dildo?
It's like it's nice getting gifts from Jason Mitten, but then he sends you the one that's just like, was it really worth it? You know, was it really worth giving him?
I think he hopes that it adds to enjoyment from he can listen to you talking on the show.
I guess
you still use. Well, I guess you don't need to use a squatty potty.
Well, I use it sometimes because. Yeah,
don't strain yourself. I know you're disappointed stuff doesn't come out, but you don't want to push it. Then you'll get the hemorrhoids.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
You don't want the hemorrhoids.
No. Thanks for the tip.
Just the tip. Jason Mitten. The McMahons, DX, and Brother Love run WWE. The Elite run AEW. Who would you pick to run your promotion?
Myself.
Jack and Incher. I was going with both of us, but you're very self-centered.
Yeah, that's right.
Jason Mitten, if you could have your cake and eat it too, which wrestler would you share it with?
Which wrestler would I share it with? I would share it with who looks like they need a cake right now.
Bobby Eaton.
He'd be eating it.
Bobby.
I think the best friends. Maybe they'll.
That'd be nice.
Yeah,
very nice of you.
Maybe they'll make me a best friend, Jack. Maybe.
I met one of them.
Yeah. Where did they become best friends with you?
I got a nice picture. Let's do a big thumbs up.
Is that a best friend thing? It might be.
Probably should have done a hug, I guess.
Yeah.
Mitten, spoiler alert. Thoughts on Brian Pillman Jr. getting defeated by Sean Spears on AEW Dark tonight? I think that's a mistake I think
no.
I've seen him live. Pillman Jr. I really think he could be a star. And he has like a following and a buzz.
Why beat him so quick?
Yeah, and why even debut him on Dark? Unless it's just a tryout to see what he's like, or whatever. Maybe there's more to that. You know, maybe he has a problem doing jobs. I don't know. But I think if you have intention of doing something with him, I think he's a guy you should make a big deal about hiring and showcase him on the show.
I've never really seen one of his matches, so yeah, I guess I could watch Dark and see what's going on.
Yeah, it's the first time I get to see him. I met him in Chicago for an event. But when I saw him live at a local wrestling here, I thought he was the standout of the show.
Yeah.
I think he's still in the contract with MLW. Just MLW is letting him do other dates since they're kind of down.
So if that's true, you can't really bring him in and have him beat one of your guys.
Right. It's more so like a tryout, I guess, for the future.
Yeah. It could also, some of that times, that kind of thing is like a test to see, like, is he okay doing a job for one of our guys? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But I would like to see him come in. I like him.
Maybe Sean Spears was just like, I want to make that fucker lay down for me.
Maybe.
That guy sucks, man.
I like Sean Spears.
He's boring as shit.
I like him. I like him in AEW, and I like the pairing with. I actually really like him in AEW. I think he's a good character.
Could I commission Shaheen to do a picture of Sean Spears for me? How much would that? I have to pay for that.
I got to charge you triple for that one, man, just because I hate him so
triple? Much. What's the triple going to be?
Hit me up privately. I'll take it.
I'm just going to tell everybody anyhow, whenever you tell.
Well, there's no proof of it. I could just be like, I just made it up.
Oh, okay.
But if I'm live on the air,
you can't deny it. I see.
I want a Max Payne.
Max Payne?
Shooting the bad blaster into Johnny Goodbad's face.
I would love to do a Max Payne one.
I love Max Payne. It's one of my favorite interviews on it. I know it's not necessarily like the most. Well, I think it did pretty good hits, but I know it's not the biggest star or anything. But I it's one of my favorite interviews is Max Payne on the show.
I had to do this one for someone today. Let me see if I can maybe not touch anything.
There we go.
Oh, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. The match, it'll probably never happen.
Yeah. That's what he wanted. I didn't want to draw it.
Pretty sweet.
If it was up to me, I'd never draw wrestling again, if I'm being honest.
No, must draw wrestling.
Fortunately, that's where I've kind of,
What would you draw?
What would I draw? I don't know. I like drawing horror stuff. I don't know. I like drawing a lot of original stuff for the most part. Like my own shit, but it's hard.
The idea is, I just had the talk with Annabelle. Is like the original stuff's great, obviously, but there's not necessarily an audience for that,
right?
Unfortunately, because they want characters that they know.
Unless you become somebody who,
you'd have to, then they'd have to, off your own name.
Yeah,
that's very rare. I mean, out of how many thousands of artists does one
like H.R. Geiger or something?
Right.
All right. Well, I had a good time, Inchman.
Was that all the questions?
That was all the questions.
There we go.
Want some more?
No.
I'll make some up.
I'm thinking about a snack. All this talk about cake and coffee and
you don't even like coffee.
I know. I'm just trying to think of food items we talked about.
Get some tube steak for you.
I'll pass. No thanks.
Too many calories.
No, it just wasn't any good. Alrighty.
We'll be back next week.
Actually, I won't be here next week, so you may have to get Prez to fill in for me.
I might have someone lined up already.
Okay. Sorry, everybody.
The hell you doing?
I don't know what this is.
His trigger fingers itching now. He's got to do something. He touched the gun. He's getting excited now.
Nah, I'm good. No, seriously, I ain't had that thing out in a while. So
what are you doing next week?
I got to do some things around the house.
You do your chores?
A week in advance chores.
Yes. That's right.
Clean the gutters. I don't know. I think there's something weird here. But...
Something weird?
Yeah.
No. I just won't be here.
All right. All right. Well, I'll probably be here, and will Clinton or Juju or Mystery. And,
Mystery.
There is
Mysterious.
So, hell knows. Maybe Incher will just show up.
Maybe it'll be me in a mask. You never know.
Right. It'll be El Incher. El Incho.
El Incher.
Yeah. All right. Are you okay? You're looking weird.
No, I'm just, I'm kind of I'm kind of phased out here, my man. I need some bread or something.
All right. All right. Thanks, Shaheen. Thanks, Alexar and Vic Schiavone and the Song Man. And I think I might be missing somebody. Anyone who called in and all the listeners here. It's been a lot of fun. And we'll be back next week for more In Your Head. All right. See ya.
Bye. Take it easy.
You as well, boy.